Welcome to episode 41 of the Current Backloggers. Today is November 18th. I'm your host, KCP, along with my good friend and co-host, Cody G. Cody, how's it going?
Good, man. Besides forgetting normal things.
What have you been forgetting?
Well, the birthday song.
I noticed.
And then crazy stories. It's kind of weird. A couple high school friends have reconnected with me. It's kind of, I used to play airsoft with a few of them. My airsoft group, they all joined the military. I didn't, of course. Did I ever tell you the time I tried to join the National Guard?
You told me you were thinking about it. You never told me you tried, though.
Yeah, it was a long time ago. It was like 2011, right after I was a senior in high school. I was too fat, shocking enough. They're like, yeah, dude, you need to get down to 190. And then they have, this is a true story. They have something called Fat Platoon. Like, we get you down to 190. They probably put you in the Fat Platoon, which means you just, you eat less and you exercise more. That's funny how that works. But yeah, it's literally called the Fat Platoon, which is fucking hilarious to me. But yeah, I was too fat to join the National Guard, which is kind of already like I might as well just been like join the post office or something. And then I called there once trying to get a hold of a recruiter for something when I was a senior, and the Army guy picked up. He's like, dude, you don't want to join the National Guard. He's kind of talking shit about him. Real competitive over there trying to get recruits.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I was going to join it because all my friends are joining the military, and they, 3 of them were real certain. It was right around the time they killed bin Laden, so they're all certain they're going to join the Navy SEALs. None of them joined the Navy SEALs, of course. They joined the Navy. One kid, he got really buff while he was in the Navy too. Like, he doesn't even look like himself. It's ridiculous. It's kind of crazy because he probably wants to kick my ass now. Because when we were kids, he had a crush on my older sister. So one time we stripped him down to his underwear and threw her in her bedroom at a sleepover. Stole all his pajamas and threw him in there and locked the door. And I think she had friends over too. So they were like 16 and we were like in 5th grade. He'd probably kick my ass now. Oh, without doubt, definitely kick my ass. But yeah, he didn't join the Navy SEALs. But 2 of them became fighter pilots, like legit, like in a jet. And that's their brother. I got in contact with again. He's out of the Air Force now. All their brothers joined. There was this big Italian family, and we used to play airsoft at their house, and they all joined the Air Force. 2 of them, they all had ridiculous Italian names too, like Victorio, and it was all just most Italian names ever, and their parents were super Italian. But yeah, 2 of them are fighter pilots, so it fucking blew my mind. It's weird to think about. But yeah. I feel like,
so,
yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, so the Fat Platoon's a thing in the military. It's fucking hilarious. So I've been reconnected with him. He plays Sea of Thieves. But they take it way too serious. Like, he's like, oh, we use like starboard, and we have this massive ship, and we take everything super serious. So I don't know if I want to play with you guys.
Yeah, sounds terrible to me.
Especially because it's like one of the part of the game is stupid. You just run around and get drunk and throw up.
Yeah, we know from Trevor that watches this show that's some of the most fun you have is the most stupid things that aren't supposed to happen.
So I might be playing Sea of Thieves with him soon. But yeah. It's kind of weird too. 2 of the 3 people I reconnected with, it's just odd, man. Maybe they saw my postings on Facebook. Like, is this guy, is he okay?
It's a good question if you follow yourself on Facebook.
I post some of the craziest stuff. I love it. It's just, Facebook's so serious. Everyone's like, politics and stuff, and oh my God, I'm so depressed. So then I just posted dumbest shit.
Pretty serious.
Yeah.
Not the other stuff, but like not politics and not depression, but stuff is serious.
Yeah, stuff in general.
Uh-huh.
So I just posted some dumb shit on there, and so three of them messaged me, and 2 of them asked me if, for some reason, like, hey, you should have a podcast.
Oh yeah,
bro, I got a podcast.
Did you send them that way?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, did you actually?
So they might be Victoria. You might be listening to this. I don't know.
Very
all
nice.
You and your Italian brothers. They're super Italian. I can't remember. I'm trying to remember. It's like Victorio, McCartney. McCartney was their last name. Vincent. Oh, they're all. There was like 5 brothers, all in the Air Force. I can't imagine two of these idiots. Like, they're not idiots, but we just did dumb shit like jerking off jokes and shooting fireworks and shooting airsoft guns, and think now they're like serious, like 30,000 feet in the air. Coming down the landing. I couldn't imagine them in that serious role. They're bombing people.
Speaking of Italy, what else have you been up to, buddy, besides forgetting things?
Speaking of Italy?
Yeah. That was a fake segue right there.
Oh, Italy is great.
I think I might just start doing that randomly and see how confused you are.
Yeah, I was especially because we're talking about memory loss, so I was like, fuck, were we talking about Mario? Or?
I should roll with that. We were just talking about Italy and on our whole tangent.
Yep, so what have you been up to?
Oh, that's it? You just been, okay.
That's work.
Yeah. I haven't been up to almost anything either. Been working some overtime still. And then I did go to Scene 75, which is a really big arcade here. It's like a bigger, better version of Dave & Buster's if you have Dave & Buster's in your area. And I went there with two of our friends that listened and watched the show, Ryan and Pete. You haven't been to Scene 75 yet, have you?
No, I want to, man. I heard Tuttle's in the early stages of foreclosure.
Yeah, that's the rumor. That's what I was going to say, which is crazy and it would really suck.
From what I know from malls, though, these big conglomerates will step in and buy it. I don't think it's going anywhere.
Yeah, that's the weird thing, that it doesn't even seem run down. It's usually pretty busy, especially for a mall. And even the article was talking about how it's struggling. It said that it's 75% full, which is pretty full for malls. Especially around us, we have two of the biggest malls, not in the country, but definitely. Well, maybe. I know Easton, like I said, people come all over the world for it, which is fucking nuts to me. And then Polaris is pretty big, so I feel like we already kind of have a skewed view of it. I think most malls, 75% full is pretty fucking impressive.
Especially in today's world.
Yeah. And then Scene 75 just got put in there like a year or two ago, so I can't imagine they would be too on board with the rest of the mall shutting down.
God, their food court's so depressing, though. You ever been there recently?
Yeah.
Sad. Like a Subway it's always a Subway in a Chinese restaurant.
In Tuttle, because when I went, it was all of them were full.
Really?
Yeah.
Maybe I'm just imagining things. I went right before that game store closed. The one looked like Castle. Then I went again right after it closed. And I think I remember like 2 food things open.
Huh. Yeah, I didn't go there when we went to Scene 75, but when I went there probably like 6 months ago, they were all open.
Did it seem rough?
Some
crime stuff coming out of there.
Scene 75, you mean?
That mall in general.
No, not to me. Yeah, I've heard of stuff happening there, but I've never seen anything. It just seemed like a normal mall to me. Oops.
It is
shit.
Kind of weird to think Polaris is so close to Easton, too.
Yeah.
They kind of offer the same things.
Yeah. Trying to get this straightened here. But that's all I've been up to. Hasn't been doing much either. Playing a little bit of games, watching a little bit of stuff that we can talk about later, but that's it.
Cool, buddy. Did you like Scene 75?
Yeah, I've been there quite a few times, but I loved it. Yeah, I went there when it was only in Dayton is where it started, so I went there before it even came here. I liked it a lot. Like I said, pretty much a bigger, better version of Dave & Buster's, so if you like that, you'd love it.
You tried one of my nightmares, though.
What's that?
A batting cage.
Oh, really? You don't like it? I love batting cages.
Since I was a little kid, all my friends loved baseball, even like the pickup games, and like we played baseball in like this abandoned. There was a house that was torn down, and we thought this house was abandoned. One time, the ball hit this roof. This old man, it was like a fucking scene out of Sandlot or something. Like the door swung open, and he was like, "Ah!" We all took off running and pretended it was a ghost for like a year. Like, oh, it was the ghost of the abandoned house. But even then, like those little pickup games, I still wouldn't bat.
Really?
I was so afraid.
Huh.
Then all my friends played baseball, and when they would play baseball, like on legit teams, I'd sit off the side and watch them. I'd go to their games and their practices and just watch.
Is that something you want to try and do, or do you think you'd still be too scared?
I think I'd be okay. I think I'd try a batting cage.
Yeah, batting cages are so much fucking fun. There's one like 5 minutes from here, too, and it's relatively cheap, so we should do that.
Yeah.
I love batting cages. I'm not even good at them either. I don't know if they told you.
So Ryan was calling you out when I talked to him?
Oh, of course it was. I've only missed I only missed 2 of the 15 balls. I was like, this is going to be bad. And they pitched at 45 miles per hour, which is really slow for baseball terms. But for somebody that doesn't actually play baseball, it's like, oh, shit, I'm going to miss all of these at 45 miles per hour. And I only missed 2 out of 15.
Did you have to wear a mask the whole time?
Yeah.
Is that weird?
Yeah.
How often were they cleaning games and stuff? Like every time someone got off?
No, definitely not. No, I'm sure. They probably have like I'm sure that's what they do in theory, but they probably do like every hour or something, I'm guessing, where they all go through and do it. Did Ryan tell you how pissed he was getting at NASCAR when we did it?
NASCAR?
Yeah.
Of course he'd get pissed at NASCAR.
Oh, that was the game we wanted to play the most, was NASCAR. He kept getting so pissed when people were getting on the machine and we couldn't use it. And then people finally got off, and then we got on, and it was just me and him on that. It was only 2 players. And he was taking it dead serious. So every time you take a left turn, he was making a big deal about how NASCAR is all left turns. And every time I do that, I'd take a hard right and slam into him. And he would get so pissed that I wasn't taking it serious. And the first time I did it, it was so dramatic. I didn't think it actually let you do it. It was like burnout. I hit him, and he just went flipping in the air and spiraling. And he was so pissed. He tried punching me. I was, this is actually a lot of fun. I thought it was going to be stupid. And then I won the race, and you sure heard how pissed he was. That I wasn't taking it serious, and I ruined the integrity of NASCAR.
Did you do that stupid thing that where did he turn on manual?
He made that joke, and he made fun of me for not turning on manual, but then he didn't even do it himself. I was like, yeah, I'm not fucking doing that. But, yeah, Scene 75 is a lot of fun. We should definitely go there. Yeah, it's weird not... You're definitely going to have to wear the mask, and that's weird. But it's just so cool. There's multiple levels to it. There's a Halo arcade game, which sucks. It was out on... They have 2 of them, one on each level. And I was like, oh, that's what we got to start with if you guys haven't played it. And it was off on both levels. It was the only game that was off in the entire place, and it was off on both levels.
That's an expensive game. You looked at the price to own one?
Oh, not to own it, no.
$13,000. It would be nice maybe in a few years I'm a little bit better set up at the house and Renee doesn't shoot me in the head. I'd love to get one of those.
Oh, that'd be fucking
like
awesome.
An auction site or something.
Yeah.
Where it goes for a couple grand instead of 13.
Yeah. But they have a shitload of arcade games. It's mainly like Dave & Buster's, not actual old arcade games, like modern arcade games like that. But then they have Globe Putt. They have an indoor roller coaster, go-karts. Yeah.
Did you ride
pages. I didn't this time. I've done it before. It's not like you would see in like Mall of America or something. It's definitely much more scaled down. But for what it is, it was actually pretty fun because when you see it, it looks really childish. But when you do it, it's more fun than it looks. Like you could definitely... I'd be shocked if you wouldn't do it. And you'd probably think it's fun since...
I love the low ones, too.
Yeah, that's what it is, yeah. And then they have escape rooms. And they also have laser tag. I did it last time I was there, and it's fucking awesome. It's multiple levels, and the equipment's really good. But Ryan and Pete, they're 2 of the most adventurous guys there. I tell you, they every time I went to do something, they're his biggest buzzkills and didn't want to do anything and just kept standing around. And then neither of them play laser tag. Ryan said he hates laser tag, and Pete says it's too expensive.
Oh, so. That was my guess. Ryan would take the old man route, and then Peter would take the, I don't know, $750. I mean, the entertainment return value is not, I don't know. I'm probably out for this one. Is that what was happening?
Pretty close, yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll have to go because I think you'd be down for a lot more. And it's a ton of fun. They also, it might actually work better for us now. They added weekday hours, which is kind of weird that when everybody's cutting back now and more restrictions are coming, they added more hours. But I'm sure it's because they probably have been struggling, so they're probably trying to get anything they can at this point.
It's so sad for businesses right now.
Yeah, fucking sucks. But we can move on to things we forgot about from the week before. Did you forget anything?
Just how much I love you.
You forgot that.
Yeah, it was really disrespectful for me to forget that. Just left the mind like everything else recently.
Okay, I only forgot one thing. It's when we were talking about news. I skipped over one thing, and it's from GameSpot, and it's Sackboy: A Big Adventure, which still doesn't sound right. And the article says, PS5's major launch of Sackboy Big Adventure will miss in one big feature when it launches on November 12th. And it says Ned Waterhouse, which sounds like a fake name, a design director at developer Sumo Digital, has revealed in a post on PlayStation blog that the game will launch with couch co-op, but you'll have to wait to play it online with friends. And then it says, the game, which is coming to PS4 as well, will feature 2 to 4 player co-op throughout the entire campaign, as well as some co-op only levels from day one. You'll be able to play through these on a single system. And then it continues, this update is promised, quote, by end of 2020. So that's not going to be end of 2020. And we'll also add cross-generation multiplayer between PS5 and PS4, as well as game transfers that will let PS4 players carry on their games when or if they switch to PS5. That's a weird way to word that. But the reason I put that in there is, what the fuck's happened with this next generation that a game like Sackboy couldn't have online co-op ready from day one?
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of Halo where that was reversed.
Yeah.
Didn't make sense because I guess couch co-op makes more sense. You don't have to have like servers and networking stuff set up for that, right? So maybe that's what the issue, but yeah.
I do think it's cool that if they actually add it by the end of 2020, that they're going to have cross-gen.
Is it out on PS5?
Yeah, it's out on both of them. But yeah, I think the cross-generation multiplayer is cool because that wasn't something they promised, and I think the game save transfer is a cool idea. I just think it's weird because I feel like this game already probably going to be the most popular, and by the end of 2020, if they actually even do meet that date, I can't imagine there's going to be too many people waiting to play it online at that point.
Yeah. Once again, it's so weird that PlayStation has got a cross-gen.
Yeah.
I mean, what are they saying, 2021? They're going to support the PS2 or PS4 up to?
At least 2021, yeah. Because
I've never felt better about waiting.
Horizon is coming out on PS4, and we don't even know the date for that yet. It's 2021, but we don't even know the date for it.
Cool.
So that's all I had from that. Do you have any corrections, questions, or feedback?
No.
Nothing? All right. So James emailed last week when he was talking about the what was it? What did he word? Do you remember?
I don't remember how I worded it, but it was like a remake that you'd want, right?
Yeah, that you'd want back. And like I said, I wanted to think about it longer because I could think of hundreds of games that I'd want to be upscaled and current graphics and all the new features we have and everything. But the one that I settled on was Donkey Kong 64. And that's because if you go back and play that game, it's going to be almost unplayable now. And like I said, that's a game I was trying to think of, something like that I think wouldn't just benefit from modern things now, but it actually make it feel playable again and feel like it did when it came out at the time. So I talked about this one, I think, on our underrated games, but I actually think this game's better than Mario 64, which is criminal to some people. I think Mario 64 is obviously way more important. I don't think Donkey Kong would have happened without it. But I think people always give too much credit to the thing that came first. And, well, maybe not enough credit, but maybe too much love because it deserves the credit because it was the first one. But I don't think it just always is the best just because it's the first. I think Donkey Kong 64 did everything Mario 64 did, but way better. And I think the camera angles in this are absolutely horrendous. They were even questionable at the time, but now it'd be unplayable. The graphics are obviously, that generation holds up the least of all of them, especially early 64 games like that. So I just think it would fit what he's talking about perfect and what I'd imagine, because like I said, I could think of plenty of games I'd want to have better graphics and new features we have and everything, but I wanted to think of a game like that I think could become like a hit again from that.
I thought of a game too just now.
Oh, did you?
Yeah. Army Men. I feel like it's series
awesome.
that fizzled out and never really did anything with.
Yeah.
Maybe a modern take, RTS. Those games I love those games as a kid.
Me too. should we get into James' new question of the week for us?
Let's do it.
He says, how's it going, guys?
Good.
I knew you were going to say something. I like Cody's answer about remastering arcade games. I guess I could have read this for my answer, huh? I think that would be awesome. But here's my next question for you guys. Is there any old school game mechanics we don't really see anymore that you want to come back? And are there any current mechanics you wish would go away or wish would die off? And then there's a secondary question here that I didn't send to you. I don't know if you saw the email, but we'll get to that in a second. We can start with that one.
Thank you, James, for another great question. I don't know. I couldn't think of really any old mechanics that I felt like needed to make a return. Maybe grinding. I know people don't like grinding, but I think grinding's perfect. Just mindless. Turn on a podcast and just do something repetitive in a game. Like RuneScape skilling, what that reminds me of. I really can't think of any old mechanics. Maybe you have something, but new mechanics I wish would go away. Something that was kind of annoying a few years ago. Maybe right around 2011, 2012. I just remember being in high school and kind of getting annoyed with them, especially in the AAA games was quick time events. But we really don't have those much anymore. This is mainly with mobile games, and you probably notice it. Even the Nintendo mobile games do it, where it's like everything you do is a celebration. You complete one track on Mario Kart, and there's explosions and ching, ping, 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 and 1,000 things hit X on while they're trying to sell you shit. Everything's an explosion, like good job, and you barely did it. Like you start the game and they're like celebrating you. That's a little annoying, especially when you're not doing anything in the game. But that's mainly in the mobile sector. Maybe the pay to win shit too is a little annoying. The mechanic, I don't even know if that's really a mechanic. I wish it would go away. But I feel like everything's balanced. But yeah, that's my extent on it.
Okay.
My feelings.
Before I list the things I thought of, I'll go off a couple of things you said. I'm surprised you want grinding to come back. Maybe you just mean a certain kind of grinding. Because I feel like grinding's kind of a thing now more than ever, but maybe you mean like how it used to be. But I feel like games like Destiny and all these living games and like the service games, I feel like those are grinding just by default of the nature of the game.
Yeah, Division.
Yeah.
Maybe more of a mindless grinding. Like I think a RuneScape, like you
yeah.
just literally sit in the same spot. Ching, ching, blow up. And then I'd have like LimeWire open playing all my illegal music. The fucking idiot kid.
And then the other thing I thought of when you're talking about all the stuff popping up and feeling like the satisfaction and having to give you something every 2 seconds. It's funny you said that and how you don't like it. It's mainly in the mobile landscape because definitely way more mobile landscape. But I feel like actually where that got popularized where on console was Modern Warfare. I feel like Modern Warfare multiplayer, they had to have some
Whoa, we've been hacked.
Tell me about Modern Warfare.
Nice. An NSA trying to help us with the podcast.
Here's some information. But I feel like that was the first game I can remember that just every 2 seconds had something popping up and just over and over just unlocks just happening and crazy sound effects with like good strong guitar riff. And I think it was cool at the time because we didn't see anything like that. But then I feel like when you realize that it's not really an accomplishment on 90% of the things that's happening on, it's just something that trigger your brain and go, oh shit.
Yeah, I feel like Modern Warfare 1 did it perfectly. I think in Modern Warfare 2 where you had all like the little call signs and animations and shit like that was when it got annoying.
I gotcha. So for mine, it's kind of hard to break them down into what I want to come back and what I want to die off because I feel like a lot of them feed into each other. So I'll start with, well, first I'll say can't think of many things I would want to die off. Like I've talked about on the podcast a lot. I think a balance of different types of things in games is way better. So I can't think of many things I just truly want to die off, even things that I think are annoying or I'm not the biggest fan of. I can't think of many that I just don't want to exist. I just wanted to maybe tone down, which is another reason why I think these kind of feed into each other.
I just had a thought of something.
What's that?
I feel like we both agree on this one too. Length of games.
Oh yeah, that's part of why I had in here for sure.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh no, you're good. The first one actually kind of goes into that, but not exactly. And that's that I wish more games were just a linear story and just straightforward, because I feel like everything has to have 100 endings and multiple paths and choices. And again, I think that was cool and different when you started seeing that in RPGs and even mixed into other games where we didn't expect it. But now I feel like it has to be in every game, and it can't just be a straightforward story that you finish, or otherwise it's a waste of time or not worth your money, which I think really sucks, because I think you can tell amazing stories in games like Destiny or Fallout or games like that, but I think they're few and far between if you really break down the stories in those games. They end up being good, or even if they're good, that they thrive from being those type of games. I think if you made 90% of those games linear and took out all the nonsense, that the stories would probably be better for it. And so I wish we had more games like that. Like I said, I do think with all the things I'm bringing up, I can't think of anything that I just want to go away. I think those kind of games should be there, and that they would be more exciting if they were few and far between when you had these massive games, but that's all it's coming out. It gets a little old. And then the next one is kind of a whole genre, but I've talked about it before, is old school 3D platformers. I feel like every now and then we see like a few come in and people talk about their back, but they never really are back like shooters or open world games or RTSs. I feel there's still few and far between that you get 3D platformers. And I feel like we've seen with the ones that have been released here and there that there's so much you can do with them now, and so many more modern things that can improve 3D platforming, that I wish it was not a permanent thing, but a thing that came more often. And then the next one was something that actually started with Modern Warfare, at least that I noticed, and something that people fucking praised and loved at the time. And even at the time of the first Modern Warfare, I just was never that impressed by it. This probably offends you.
Yeah, you're hurting. You're hitting on one of my favorite games ever.
And that's
shitting on it.
And that's that. Trying to think how to put it. I was gonna say that they're so narrative, but that seems contradicting what I just said about linear. But it's not that they're narrative; it's that they're narrative to the point that it's at certain points it's hardly a game. Like, you're not allowed to walk in front of characters because you know that they're gonna trigger the next animation into this crazy cutscene where somebody's probably gonna die, and it's gonna be powerful because that's the person you're just playing as. And I feel like it's just so predictable. And I got why people loved it at the time. You know, I wasn't impressed by it because we didn't see anything like that. But I was like, man, this is not what I want shooters to be, just this predictable. And not saying games like Halo or anything like that are groundbreaking, things you can't experience and just so mind-blowing. And Halo even does it sometimes too, so Halo's not perfect. But I feel like that's literally what Call of Duty's campaigns are, is just connecting you to get to the next point where it's going to have a crazy moment to happen.
The next cutscene.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's almost like a movie hybrid.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And I think it takes me out of the game. I don't think it makes me more immersed or anything. When I can't walk into front of somebody when I naturally would, or like go in front of the door to protect them, because I know that they have to trigger the door opening in case there's like an enemy outside or whatever. I don't feel like it takes me into it at all. I feel like it takes me way more out of the game. So I don't know. That's why I worried when I saw that. I was like, yeah, this is cool and different, but I don't want this to be a thing. And I feel like that's definitely the main thing that shooters have become now.
I hate to be this edgelord cringy guy, but did you see that? Did you see the meme I shared on Facebook about this?
I did.
Yeah,
which was
that was right on the money.
I was gonna say, which was weird because I already had these notes. I was like, "How damn it!"
It was basically the stereotypical like drawing of neckbeards, all being the shocked neckbeard face, and it was like, when the main character in Call of Duty dies. Oh, what? Powerful.
Yeah, maybe the first few times. After that, I don't know how you wouldn't see it coming at this point. And And then another thing that Call of Duty definitely didn't create, but I feel like they definitely popularized it, and I feel like the majority of shooters are this way now. And again, Halo is taking away from this, or taking some of this as well, and that's that shooters have to be so twitchy and so immediate kill, or it's not fun to play. I think it's cool for a game mode like SWAT or something, but when every shooter just seems to feel to play like that, it just gets so old to me.
You know, it's funny you brought that up. That was almost one of my mechanics I wish they would do more of.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because I love shmups. All those, like, just you're so hyper-focused. Because I feel like Call of Duty, maybe some rhythm games, I really can't think of anything that's super twitchy. But how do you feel... Oh, we'll get into that with what you're playing.
Okay.
Because from what I can see from Cold War, it almost looks like the opposite of that. Almost looks chunky.
Ooh.
Campbell's chunky soup.
Ew. The next one, I don't even actually have a problem with in particular. I just think it's gonna phase out because people just keep doing it. Like we talked about, I think Halo would actually benefit from this, but they said they're not going to do it, and that's Battle Royales. Again, I think they are cool, and I think they kind of were revolutionary, but now it seems like every shooter has to be that, and not just shooters, but other games now as well, which is cool because we only saw shooters, so it's kind of cool seeing different games have their take on it. But just like I talked about with like shooters just seeming like they all morphed into that, I feel like Battle Royale games are all just going to do that until they run into the ground, and then people are going to make fun of Battle Royales. And, oh, you still play Battle Royale?
Yeah.
And then Deathmatch will come back, and Deathmatch will be the popular thing, and I feel like it's just ongoing, just rotation.
Yeah.
So, like I said, I don't want that to definitely not go away. I think it's a cool game type, but I think it should be a game type, not the game. And then the next two, the last one also goes into what you're talking about, and that's games of service and open world, which I feel like they're usually one and the same now, but especially games of service. That's something I talked about so many times on here, is that everything just has to seem never-ending and overwhelming and constant updates. And like I talked about with the things being more linear, I feel like games of service, games like Destiny and a few games have done it right and benefit from it, but I feel like more often than not is to take me out of it and gives you so much content that I don't think it's really benefiting the game. And then, like I said, open worlds, which I think open worlds are cool in games that make sense, like Crackdown, Grand Theft Auto, Fallout, games like that. But yeah, I feel like every game just has to be so massive and overwhelming now. I know that's what,
God, yeah,
what you were talking about, and those games were cool at the time because we would get games like Call of Duty and Halo that were 7-8 hour campaigns and you're done with them. So when you got something like Fallout, or I didn't like it, but Skyrim, games like that, Grand Theft Auto, you're like, man, I get to dedicate 40 hours to this, and this is awesome. I can spend so much time on this. But now it's the opposite. It's rare that you get a game like Halo or a game that's under 10 hours even.
Yeah, I never thought I'd been like, oh, God, thank God this game's only 6 hours, 7 hours.
Yeah, for sure. And even more so when, like I said, it seems like at least 90% of them don't benefit from that. Like, I didn't play it, but from what I hear, The Witcher, that series seems like it is just compiled with shit that you want to do and content that is good and benefits from that. So even that can be overwhelming, but that's at least seems like it's benefiting from having so much content in
or Red Dead Redemption 2.
Yeah, in a positive way like that. But when it seems like so many games are just forcing open worlds just to have more time, and there's not actually good content in it, and you could remove probably 50% of it and have a much more finite, clean game.
Yeah. I mean, even like those games make sense, like you said, but Crackdown 3 was how many hours?
Oh, God, I can't remember now. That seems like forever ago. It wasn't that long ago, but...
There's so many times I'm afraid to look on, what was it, HLTB, How Long to Beat?
Mm-hmm.
Really, if you guys don't know that website, it's a great website to...
Oh, yeah.
It takes, like, information from a bunch of people to figure out your play style and how long it would take to beat. Sometimes it's depressing getting on there. But yeah, I'm running that issue right now with Witcher 1, which is like the shortest of the 3.
Yeah.
I don't get how people don't get bored of games. Sometimes I think I have like ADHD or something. Like I get bored of games real quick. Okay, what's next? The next fresh thing.
Yeah.
Come on, next new thing.
All right, should we go into his bonus question?
Let's do it.
All right, he says, in a bonus question, if whoever made Coffee Talk forced you to play Coffee Talk 2, but you got to pick the characters, who would you choose?
I didn't even know this question existed.
Yeah, I kind of hid it from you, but then I realized that you might want time to think about it. Should I go first?
Yeah, go for it.
All right, so I got a whole cast. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
Alex Jones, Joe Biden, Donald Trump, Ryan McKay, George W. Bush, Freya.
Freya?
Yeah, from Coffee Talk.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I had to look up characters' names.
Freya.
I Googled Coffee Talk characters, and the first article was top 10 Coffee Talk characters and broke down why they're the best. You love it.
Like 10 all together?
Yeah, I didn't know there. So we got Freya, then we got Bernie Sanders, then we got Hitler, then we got Bailey, then we got Taylor Swift, and then we got Georgie.
I kind of figure out how that split will go. And then I think Bernie Sanders and Biden and Ryan McKay would all be shocked that a lot of their ideals actually match Adolf Hitler's. Like, it'll be the awkward thing where Adolf can't find, like, a group to hang out with. They're like, oh, hello, it's National Socialist Party. And they'll be like, oh, we're not with you. You gotta go sit with the conservatives. And be like, oh, no, we don't get along. Our ideals match more with yours. Then Freya, she'd definitely be big Bernie, bro. Yeah, I'd be okay. That sounds pretty good, actually.
You like that?
Yeah, I feel like you got a good cast there.
Yeah, I think you got all angles, and you bring back some of the beloved original characters to throw in the mix, and you have Georgie, the POC cop. And yeah, that's why he's
I went to it for some reason.
That's what I thought you might, but that's why I clarified that one. And then you have the big names like Donald Trump and Taylor Swift and Hitler to be able to carry and promote the game, which I'm sure they put Hitler front and center.
Hitler would love Taylor Swift. Oh, it's good genes, good Aryan genes. I think that would be the best part of the game is like realizing, like, oh fuck, dude. Like it's like that. What was that British show? God damn it! There was like a British show where a guy was a huge history buff. That was funny as shit. I think it was on Netflix for a little bit. That's how I watched it. But they were talking about like the Nazis, like not realizing they were the bad guys, and like near the end of the I can't remember the context. He's like, "Are we the baddies?" So I think that's they'd fucking maybe realize, oh shit, we kind of very similar beliefs.
Yeah, I think this game could actually.
Except Bernie's a Jew.
Oh yeah.
There might be some clashes there.
Yeah, that's actually I didn't think about that. I won't lie, but that's actually why I put this list together. It is obviously big names and people we know and Taylor Swift, which people we like because you like Alex Jones. So a mixture of all that. That's why I did it. But I think it'd actually be super fucking entertaining if you did it right. Not like in the Coffee Talk way of trying to make, not trying to make social views, but just making it fucking ridiculous as possible. You could do the social things in there because it makes sense to like be a ridiculous story, but not to make like a social point.
I think the worst part of that game was how the police officer, he was the only POC in the game, and he was a police officer. I think there's a lot of meaning behind that with the current climate of the world. I forget what else he said in the review. I was trying to add in there.
No, I know what you're doing. That's why I was just trying to act like I was going along with it.
I feel like you got a good cast in there.
Yeah. Any cameos you want to throw in? You don't have to. I just.
Just so they get a full like idea of where they stand. Maybe like Mao Zedong.
Oh.
Pol Pot. Stalin. Some of their good communist leaders that they look up to. There was an Obama staffer. I forget what her job was in the cabinet, but she was directly quoting Mao Zedong and was like, she was like a big fan of Mao. What? Did we just forget history? So I think it'd be a good like moment for them to be like, "Oh shit, are we the baddies?" Yeah.
So you want Coffee Talk 2 to happen? Is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah, just as long as you're doing the casting.
Can you think? Obviously, you would never get any of these people to do it, but even if you just like try to pitch that to somebody, how fast they'll get shut down?
Oh, for sure. But I think your conservative side needs a little bit more rift in it. I think they would just be too much of an echo chamber. So I think you have to add in Ben Shapiro, because him and Alex just don't like each other.
Yeah.
So I think that'd be great. So it should help level them out, because I feel like they'd all just feed off Alex Jones and be screaming about globalists.
Well, I don't know. George W. Bush doesn't like Donald Trump. I imagine
I think he'd be over with the. I was putting it with Biden.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I see him as a maverick. He's definitely he's a war hawk too. He'd get right. Him and Biden be high fiving. You seen the people Biden's putting in his cabinet?
Yeah.
All kinds of mavericks and war hawks.
And I feel like Donald Trump would know George W. Bush is seems like a really nice, down to earth guy, so he'd probably go all in on him.
Oh yeah. So you just drag us in Iraq war and now you paint? I think it is kind of a little messed up. You a lot of blood on your hands, Georgie, and you're just painting.
Well, Georgie is the POC.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I think. Yeah, I don't think George W. Bush would be over there. I've seen all the what do they call them? Not neocons, but just mavericks, warhawks, the Republicans that he's filling his cabinet with. Saw Romney got a job over there after he pretty much gave up the 2012 election. God, I hated him. How'd you feel about Romney?
I didn't like him.
Yeah, I rooted for Obama that year.
Did you?
Yeah, it was just like, we got to just keep the president. I think it's good to keep a president a full 8 years so their ideas get realized, and I just didn't like him.
I didn't like either of them, so I still voted for Ron Paul that year.
Did you?
Yeah.
I think I did, actually. I think I wrote him in.
Yeah, that's...
The primaries, I voted for him. He won in my county, too. I feel so proud of that. Yeah. Yeah, I think I might wrote in Ron Paul.
Yeah. It was...
Yeah, matter of fact, I did. That was my first election.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I voted in the primaries in the election.
Look at you.
I had the little fucking sticker. The little I voted sticker.
Yeah.
Back when that was not virtue signaling to post that on social media. Just kidding. It's always been so stupid.
Anything you want to add about Coffee Talk 2?
I think the developers just need to fuck off and stop making games. That's not why is this so accepting? Why can't I find anybody in my court? I know it's a joke for you, but like media where they're like the top 10 Coffee Talk characters, like who's writing that?
That's playing a guitar over here.
Like a guitar.
Sounds like people are listening to the podcast. So what the fuck?
I hope they probably add a character that plays a guitar in Coffee Talk. That douche.
I saw there's a top 10 character. There's an astronaut that comes in eventually too. I wonder if they what kind of space views they have.
If you like Coffee Talk or writing stupid articles or stupid reviews like that about how powerful it is, I wish they'd put you on a ship and launch you out to space like a fucking astronaut.
All right. Well, on that positive note, James, thanks for the question of the week. Keep them coming. If anybody else wants to send any corrections, question, or feedback, you can send it to currentbackloggers@gmail.com.
We should get shirts made that says Big Coffee Talk Fans.
I'm down for that being our second shirt.
And then we have that article's headline on there with that guy's review of the POC cop and the current climate. Don't you love how they love using big words, too? God, my aunt was posting tonight about political stuff on there, and it was just some of the douchiest words. And I had to Google some of the words she was using. God, you're so superior. I can also Google synonyms on Google. I almost said cinnamon, which is fucking ironic.
We can move on to news. Kind of you get carried away with Coffee Talk.
Oh, it gets me riled up.
But I like your idea of shirt. I think we'll have to think about that. Do you have any news this week?
The news is that the Coffee Talk developers actually shut down. No, the only news I had was that we talked about, and you don't like talking about rumors on here, but this is purely a rumor.
Oh, I'm okay debating it with you or discussing them, yeah.
I know you don't put rumors on yours, sorry.
Yeah.
So I should probably word that different. First of all, can we back up to what we were doing?
What are we doing?
Yeah. Like you're like, oh, what have you been up to? What have we been up to?
Yeah, okay.
Something weird happened today, man. I was unloading groceries and this truck pulls up to outside my house, and I was listening a little too much Alex Jones. God, he's so fucking funny, dude. What was he talking about today? It was just had me rolling. I think it was about how his movie's getting taken. I can't remember. About the UN death camps and stuff. But the guy pulls up and he's like, hey, man, you ever thought about getting your... I don't know. I thought he was going to insult me or something. I didn't know what to expect. And just drive away real quick. But he's like, you ever thought about getting your tree limbs cut? And it's something we've seriously looked at. We're like, yeah, this is something we've had estimates done. I had this really weird encounter. I might have talked about it on here before about the guys cutting my neighbor's tree.
Yeah, you did.
God, what the fuck, dude? I still think about this and I was like, what the hell was that? He got way too close to my face and just stared at me. I just stared back at him like it felt like we were getting ready to fight. My adrenaline was rising like, okay, shit. Where do I go with this? And they quoted me something ridiculous like $700, and then like another. Gosh, it was probably almost over $1,000 with all the stuff they wanted to do. I was like, yeah, man, I've been to the new guy pulls up. I was like, yeah, we've been quoted before. What are you thinking? And it's something that's been bugging me. I was like, so late in the season, I'll just do it next year. And he's like, looking at the tree. We've had some cancellations and stuff, man. I'll do this for $100. And I was like, fucking bingo, let's get it rolling. And then I think he got out and started looking at the tree and realized like what it entailed. He's like, shit. Might have been part of a sales tactic too. Be like, oh god, what have I got myself into? But yeah, so they did that and they did the shit in the backyard for $220. So saved like $800, got a bunch of shit cut up. They hauled away. Oh my god, it's probably like a tree worth of shit. They did so much stuff around my house for $200, but they had a cancellation today. It was real late in the season. They were desperate, and the one guy had like holes in his shoes, and his polydactyl. You ever seen people like that where they have like just 3 fingers on each hand? Yeah. This motherfucker's climbing my house like nothing. Like it was weird. Also, the guy that does my gutters, he had a stroke. Half of his body doesn't work right. He drags one leg and the arm's kind of fucked up. Dude scales my house like nobody's business. He's in his 60s. But yes, their truck was beaten up. He's got holes in his shoes, and we won't get into it. But of course, these are the people that get their taxes raised, and people panhandle out in the intersections. Did I say that? No, but yeah, they did all that stuff for me today, and it's really made me happy. But yes, I got all that shit done, chopped up. So that was my big focus today. Was getting all that shit drug out. A bunch of bushes. They cut up bushes, dude. They took down they took down 2 trees. There's like young, like 4-year-old trees maybe. But it worked out really good for me. I think he was regretting it. He didn't realize like how big because the tree limb was so big it was like a tree itself. And they filled up their truck was so full they couldn't probably put a fucking toothpick in there. But he gave me his phone number, his business card or whatever, which was just a computer piece of paper, a flyer, all folded up.
Do you hear that?
Might be my phone.
Oh, okay.
Someone might be calling me. It's over on the other side of the room. So I felt good. I was like, got all that shit done for like a percentage of the money. But where Alex Jones comes in, I got a little paranoid because he was like, yeah, most people, like it was like trying to turn the lesson like most young homeowners, they don't realize what you got to do to upkeep of your house. You know, they're like, oh, $200 to do this. I'm just going to hold off and get the new game system. So I'm like, I know Renee wanted to get this shit done. So now I'm thinking Renee planted them. The fucking they just pull up to my house like, oh, hey, I just saw you're here with your tree. We had a cancellation. I feel like Renee tipped them like, oh, yeah, also here's an extra 20. Throw something in there about video games. Because he knew my whole fucking he said some other things too. It was like, what the fuck? How do you know me? But yeah. So, of course I'm joking. I don't think she planted them.
Yeah.
I think she planted them. But yeah, we got that done, man. They're really cool guys. I think they make a really cool video too. They're hilarious. The dude's out there like seriously like No joke, Casey, with a fucking holding a chainsaw with like fucking 3 fingers. Motherfucker's just blah, 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 running. He's fucking lighting a cigarette, smoking it with 3 fingers. This dude's rocking. He's cutting down tree limbs, smoking cigarettes, lighting cigarettes with 6 fingers. I can't even wipe my ass with 5 fingers. This guy is, I was so impressed with them. So if you ever need any tree work, I got some guys.
Okay.
And I got a gutter guy too. It's half his body doesn't work. Fucking crazy, dude. These guys, I love it. It's like capitalism. It was beautiful. We were going back and forth in the yard. Like he's like, oh, I could do this for 100. I'm like, oh, bro, I can only do this for 80. It felt good. Best part too, nobody was wearing masks. It's like, oh, this is great. It's America. We're missing like fireworks and a cookout or something. But yeah. So sorry, I meant to put that in there earlier.
Oh no, you're good.
Yeah, but fuck coffee talk. Had to bring that back around too. I hate that game. So what were we talking about again?
News.
News. That's right. So back to rumors. I like some rumors.
Oh yeah.
There was some someone took photos of a box mock-up of a Xbox Classic. I don't know if they would call it that.
Oh yeah.
Which was the box art and all the different games in there. Like you mentioned too, just Halo 2 and what were all the games in there?
Oh god, I can't remember. I know Fable was on there.
Jet Set Radio, was that on there?
That makes sense. It was, yeah.
There's a bunch of different, like the common games you expect, just no Halo 1. The box looked cool. I wish it looked more like the original box with those. Maybe choose the douchey one where the guys are like playing on the side and stuff.
The Daves.
Or some of the original box art. But it's like, they said like 2 years away.
Yeah.
I don't think they'd make box art this early.
No, no way.
It's probably fake. There could be something in the work, but I would love that. Especially if they gave you like a Duke and an old, or the S controller and a Duke.
Yeah, if anything, if Microsoft was smart, they were going to do that, which that seems like something to do, especially with Phil Spencer in charge now. Well, not Microsoft, but in charge of Xbox. He seems like always doing fan servicey stuff. I think next year would make the most sense because that'd be the 20-year anniversary of Xbox. So that'd be like the perfect time to do something like that.
Next year's 20 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. 2001.
And that wouldn't be till November of next year, so you'd have plenty of time to get that together if they wanted to do something like that.
I feel like we just celebrated 10 years.
I know.
The fuck?
Yeah, I had to look at it, and I was like, that can't be right.
You know what that means?
What's that?
20 years since 9/11.
Uh-huh.
Fuck. I feel like we just celebrated 10 years for that.
Yeah.
All the family out there.
Yeah.
It's weird.
Yeah. Time flies, the kids say, huh?
Especially when you're having good times, you know?
Do you have any other news?
No, that's it.
That's it. The first thing I'll talk about, I posted on our social media. I don't know if you saw it or you might have saw it aside from ours. But do you hear about Ubisoft? What happened over the
hostage
week?
situation?
Yeah.
I saw some little here and there about it.
Yeah, and then it was reported that there is a hostage takeover at Ubisoft. And I was like, that sounds like the craziest thing I've ever heard. That doesn't sound real.
Some diehard shit.
Yeah. And then as it went on through the day, you couldn't find much reporting about it, which was weird. But it's definitely real because it was on like the top video game websites and everything. But then they said that it was, what word did they use? Do you remember that? I can't remember what they used. That there was no threat, but they said something. And I was like, it wasn't that there was no threat, though. It was just that there was nothing there at all. And wait, so like 40 people just went on the roof and thought somebody was holding them hostage? And how's that mistaken
fucked
for?
Up PR event.
Yeah, it wasn't like a hoax.
New
Like
Splinter Cell movie, or it'd probably be a movie. Knowing them,
I think it makes sense if it was a hoax or it wasn't real or something that it was just a fake story and that didn't happen. But there's pictures and videos of the scene, like the people on the roof and the craziness going on. So how does that just mistakenly happen?
It gets my conspiracies just shot through my mind like crazy.
The one that I saw that made the most sense, they said that somebody, the office right next to him, got robbed, and then they went up there because they heard about that. and that they were told to get away from everything, so that there was a gun in the area. But
where's their headquarters at?
Well, this one was in Montreal. I don't think that's Ubisoft's actual headquarters, but that's where this office was.
What are their gun laws like there?
I know Canada's are a lot more strict than ours in general. I don't know about Montreal, or Montreal as the Canadians say.
Yeah, also, why the roof?
That's always confusing. They said that they were being held hostage there, which I was like, man, that's fucked up, because are they going to like tell them to jump off if they don't listen or something? This is going to be some crazy-ass video. But, yeah, I don't know. All of it seems so weird, and then you're talking about it seeming like a PR stunt. Did you watch any of the video from it?
No.
It's just so crazy. All these people on the roof, and then people like on the side street taking videos, and then like full-on SWAT teams and tactical teams moving in, and like using hand signals, and people running around with rifles. I was like, this literally just looks like Division 3 or something, just out on the streets right in front of Ubisoft's office.
That's how chill Canada is. Yeah. Someone gets fucking mugged, and Canada unleashes everything they've got. Got a mugging over here. America, like here in Columbus, you call them, let you know you've been mugged. They're like, okay, just stay on this recorded line and repeat your voicemail. They tell you about that as a drug mart?
Yeah.
Got fucking robbed. Guy just walked out of there with a cart full of shit, and then he's like, wait, so I just say what happened? Okay, so just wait for the beep and just say what happened? Okay. And then it's just like, probably there's a beep, and he's just like, hi, my name's John, manager over here at Drug Mart. And it's just like, oh, dude, what the fuck kind of policing is this? It's so weird and dystopian. But in Canada, they're just calling the fucking... Surprising to see a tank just rolling through.
There was like the armored like SUV type things. But yeah, not a real tank.
Oh, that's great, man.
Yeah,
so they probably thought it was the hostage situation.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure. And then that was crazy to see, and it sounds dark, and I feel like people think it's weird to talk about until something happens, which I always think is the opposite. I feel like it's kind of weird to wait for something like that to happen. But I always thought it was kind of weird, obviously a good thing, but a weird thing that we never heard about anything like that happening in video games, really. The only thing I could think of is the shooting at the Madden tournament.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah, but I think it's super weird that we haven't...
I forgot all about that.
Yeah.
That one's so creepy.
I think it's super weird that that's never happened, like in an office or like a convention or something. Obviously, it's a good thing, like I said. And like when you talk about this, I don't know if people think it like gives people idea that they're going to do this. If somebody's crazy, they're already thinking about this. So talking about it, I think, is just getting ahead of it and discussing things. So hopefully it doesn't happen. Not that I'm going to stop it, but I'm saying like in general.
Yeah.
I don't know why people are so afraid to talk about something until it happens. Like I always told you. Now they have like security checkpoints and everything, but I always thought it was so weird until like the past couple of years how loose theme parks were. I was like, everybody's walks right in there and has strollers and bags, and it could just literally be a matter of time until somebody unloads with guns or has a backpack they take on a roller coaster and just fucking blow the whole thing up. But then people are like, whoa, you can't talk about that. That hasn't happened, and just giving people the idea. Well, that's the fuck. You're supposed to learn from history so it doesn't happen. I mean, that's not learning from history in that sense, but learning like from different events that people do. I don't know why people just focus so heavy on like movie theaters and airports and the places that has happened and just act like everywhere else is safe until it happens.
Yeah, it's I don't know how truthful this is, but from what I can tell online from the shit I'm probably reading, might be biased, but I did read TSA has never stopped a terrorist threat.
Yeah. I don't know how true it is either, but yeah, I've heard that they've done plenty of tests and you can get all kinds of stuff through.
Yeah, but you also got to remember too, that's a big ass deterrent.
Yeah.
That's got to stop you. Also, pre 9/11, I didn't know this. I never flew before then. I remember going to airports with people and people would walk right to their fucking gate.
Yeah, yeah. Uh-huh.
Like, we'd watch my grandma's planes take off or my parents' planes take off to Florida and shit. I do remember that, how relaxed it used to be. But people said you used to be able to take pocket knives on there.
Yeah. I didn't do it, but I knew that, yeah.
But yeah, I think TSA is a big-ass deterrent. You also got to think, too, there's a lot of people that have to hire, and those people are not you're not dealing with the experts here.
Yeah.
They're kind of just filling spots. God, that's weird. I forgot all about the Madden shooting. I remember you could hear his like the fucking guys. Couldn't you hear his like last breaths or something on the headset or something?
I don't know if you could hear that. I know that it literally happened while he was playing, so that makes sense.
So fucking creepy.
And I know there's also not video game related at all, but I know a lot of people kind of lump it in. There's that crazy ass fire at some big anime studio. I think it was in Japan.
Oh, Japan. Oh, God, yeah.
It like burnt the whole place up and everybody's in there.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
So that was messed up. But yeah, just like I said, obviously a good thing, but it's just so crazy to me that with how many crazy people there are and how much people like attention that somebody hasn't done that knowing that there's hundreds of thousands of people at these conventions or at these companies, these really talented people and so beloved that you would get attention and somebody hasn't done it.
Yeah, man, that's a thing too. It's always an argument here about for guns, is that crazy people will find a way to kill people. Like Japan, some of the strictest laws for weapons. And that guy just set a whole block on fire.
Yeah.
Granted, guns would be an easier route, but Oklahoma City bombing. That's another comes to mind. The Unabomber comes to mind. But you're talking about game studios. But I remember a few years ago that idiot broke into YouTube after she got demonetized.
Oh, yeah.
Was flashing guns.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
I think she wounded somebody or just ended up shooting herself. I can't remember.
I can't remember exactly what happened. I remember seeing the story.
Yeah, you'd think some of the idiots that play games, man. They did something wrong or did something to their main character. Some schizophrenic people could take that shit the wrong way. Yeah, that's weird to think about. Yeah,
like I said, it's weird to even discuss because then with how people think now, they're like, oh, okay, so this guy's uneasy and he's thinking about doing it. But like I said, I think that's kind of the opposite of what
I saw all the fertilizer upstairs. You had a Timothy McVeigh poster and like a receipt to a U-Haul truck. Something going on about Bungie. Bungie must die or something written on your wall. That's a total joke, by the way.
So like I said, obviously a good thing that hasn't happened. And like when I first saw it, I was like, oh shit. Because I was like, when I first saw the story, I was like, I've always thought it's weird that hasn't happened. So, man, this is going to end in some dark shit. So, obviously, I'm glad it didn't. And it was some kind of weird nonsense. But just still so weird to me that it hasn't.
What if it was a dumb PR event? You just saw Splinter Cell, like, posters roll down the side of the building.
I would have, I know people would have been pissed, but I would have thought that would have been awesome.
All the cops just turn around and start handing out flyers. Oh, my God. Custom gun skins.
Yeah, you're talking about how relaxed it is. Some of the videos you can see where they already have like the streets roped off, and like I saw all the people like moving and not even talk to each other, just like hand signals and rifles and everything. There's people just walking up the street where they have them roped off on their phones, and the people are recording, wait, how are the people getting up the street? And they're just like walking through this scene that looks like it's set up for like a fucking terrorist movie. Oh, that's so nuts.
Could you imagine, too, you're just like, God, I got to just mug a guy just to pay this electric bill. And then you mug somebody, and then this fucking happens? Like the craziest reaction?
Yeah.
Oh, God. Did they catch the guy that did that?
I don't know. I'll look into it more, because I don't want to spread wrong shit with this, but I'll try and look up to it and talk about next episode more.
God, man. The first community college I went to was an idiot went in there with a shotgun, and it was a semester before I started. My friend was in the class when it happened. He posted on Reddit about it too. He's an ultimate cringe lord. He pulled up his car to block the exits and then walked in with a shotgun, shot a few people, and then the security guard was having dinner and ran back over there. And fortunately, the guy's shotgun had jammed because he's an idiot. And from what I can remember, too, he used like birdshot or something from a distance. I wouldn't want to get shot with birdshot. They could definitely kill people, but from a distance, probably what you want to get shot with. And the security guard talked him down, like, pretended he had a gun. Like, how fucking ballsy is that? That's fucking sick. I'm a security guard. I've already told them something like that's happened. I'll help the people in the immediate area, but I'm fucking leaving. But this guy went in there like a badass and was like, he was older too. He's an older guy. I met him afterwards and was like, put down the gun, and pretended he had a gun, I think is what it was. And the kid was an idiot and his gun was jammed, so he threw it on the ground. I think he's got life in prison now, so that's good. But just I was living with him too, so hearing the first count, like just hearing this bang, 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 and knowing what's happening. And it took forever for the police to respond. So I feel bad for the Ubisoft employees. I'm sure they were feeding off each other. Probably one person's like, oh shit, I heard there's a guy next door with a gun. And then like,
oh, I'm sure.
The next person's like, dude, someone's been shot. And they're all just like, oh, what the fuck?
It sounded even more crazy because a lot of them are working from home, and then some were working that day and went home. So then they were just seeing stuff online, I guess, and couldn't talk to anybody there.
Oh my God.
So they were just seeing like the craziest shit. And going, wait,
shit.
All my coworkers are there. What's happening? Oh, that'd be fucking nuts.
Damn. Yeah, I couldn't imagine just that panic. But just hearing my friend talk about it too, like how each other were feeding off of each other.
Yeah.
Causing more panic. They were like stacking tables in front of the doors. And I hear in those situations it makes sense. SWAT is not nice. I mean, they're not supposed to be. You definitely don't want them to be, but they're kind of fucking rude. Like, get your fucking hands up, move. People just had a traumatic experience, and now you got these guys in all black. It'd be comforting as fuck to see them. Like, this is who you want to be there. But I think that'd be kind of fucked up at the same time. Especially because they're, like, walking over. He said, like, you could see, like, the blood and some shells in the ground. And they're, like, telling you to keep your head. Look at the ground. Don't look up. He said people are, like, trying to film with their cell phones. And cops are, like, yelling and put them away. So I feel bad for them. I'm sure it was traumatic as shit. But I guarantee you they fed off of each other. And it's just one crazy shit after the next, and they all just end up on the roof.
Yeah.
Wonder what kind of security department they have, though.
Yeah.
The roof, that makes no sense to me because there's no place to escape. Everybody went up to the roof. Like, I don't think there's probably much security guards then, because that's like, there's nowhere to run. There's no place to exit.
That's why I said, I almost said hijacking. What am I looking for here? I already said it.
Not kidnapping, but hostage?
Yeah, hostage. That's why that seemed realistic and made sense to me, because, man, that's so fucked up. They're all on the roof, so that way they could literally do anything they want with them or make them jump or do, like, the craziest shit. So that's why that made sense, so.
Yeah, man. It makes you... also, we can go back to this, too, for appreciation for cops. We have security cameras in my house, and it was really creepy. I got this alert that there was movement in my yard. I was like, oh, fuck, what the hell? It was 1:30 in the morning. I was at work and turned it on, and there's a guy, and it's like out of a fucking movie. He had a hoodie on, a baseball cap, had his face covered, had a backpack on, walking around my house. Like, looked like casing it. Like he just came from my neighbor's car and was casing it, going around. And I know my neighbors. That's not my neighbors. So I called the non-emergency. They're out there pretty quick. It's like took them like 10 minutes. But it's fucking creepy seeing someone walk around your house like that.
Yeah.
But also, you can add that to remember when Ryan said it's Also, the cops told me they think he was casing it. That's a good thing I called that way, because when they case it, I never knew this. This is fucking weird. Criminal organizations are weird like that. Well, I don't know if it's not a criminal organization, but a criminal. They'll case a place to see what the response is. So he'll walk around and see if someone will come out or if the cops will come.
Did the cop come back to you and he's like, hey, it's a really good thing you called us out here today.
Fuck off. Oh, that Cinemark training video. Jesus. No, but they showed up with those big spotlights in their car. Fucking shined it all the way around. He went to all my windows, shaking the door. And Renee wouldn't pick up her phone, so she probably just shit her pants if the lights were just shining through the thing and the doors rattling. Yeah. But they went all around my property, so yeah, it's nice to have them when things happen and they see fucked up shit cops do. I work with a bunch of ex-cops, all retired and shit. There's a fucked up story I could tell you maybe once I turn this off that one of them told me. That was like, Jesus Christ. I don't know how you guys... Why you want to be in that career in the first place.
Yeah.
But yeah, when things like that happen, it's got to be comforting as shit. Like you look over the roof and you see like a fucking military operation coming to rescue you. It's got to feel cool as hell. Scary as fuck when they start yelling at you. But yeah, I feel bad for the Montreal Ubisoft. I just want to know what happened. I just want to interview with one of them. Oh, Christine down in HR, she said something about terrorists, and we're all just feeding off each other. And one idiot was like grabbing weapons, like boiling coffee or something, or
like in the cinema video where they grab the plastic shovel. I'm pretty sure that'll make somebody shoot you just for holding that stupid thing.
Grab a stapler or some shit. That'd be great to see the internal like footage, or someone had to record with their cell phone. Surprised there's that many people in the Ubisoft building right now with Corona.
Yeah, they said that there was only 10, but the picture definitely was way more than that to me.
Yeah. Only 10.
They said there were 10 hostages, but the picture on the roof looked like there was at least 40 of me.
Really?
And so even if it's not 10, I don't think I could miss see that bad to add more than 30 on.
Yeah.
We can move on to the next thing, though. This is from The Verge. I don't know if you saw this. The Nintendo Switch has been the best selling console in the U.S. for 20-30 straight months, which on one hand you might not be too surprised because no other mainline system has come out in that time, but still that's super impressive to me. That's almost 2 entire years that they've led for every single month, and especially for a console that is so held back in power right now, and it's only going to become more so with the new consoles coming out. I'm sure this is or last month was going to be the last month. I can't imagine without sell the consoles this month. If it can, that's even more crazy. The only way it could that has a chance to do that is just because the console be what do you want to call it? Held back because the inventory. I'm blanking on the term for it though.
Sold out?
No. God, I can't remember what they call it.
Limited?
No. I'm just blanking.
Like they're not making enough?
Yeah, but there's a term for it. I just can't remember. But even then, I think at the amount they made, I'm sure that in 1 month, they're probably both outsell the Switch, I'd imagine, even being held back like that. But I just want to talk about it because I said that's still crazy to me that they've led for every single month for almost 2 entire years, being so underpowered. And
the power of first party, man. Their first party shit is just amazing.
Yeah.
Also, it's like a religion for some people, though.
Yeah.
There's a guy I work with. It's like, yeah, exactly, like Apple.
Yeah.
I was like, bro, you're going to get Xbox or PlayStation? It was like I fucking offended him or something. No. Been playing Mario All-Stars. Okay, can't experience everything. But, yeah, it's like a religion, man. It's very serious for them. And it's like a lifelong religion.
Yeah.
Apple, that's a good way to put it. But I'm surprised there's not more third-party support of how many have sold.
Yeah, that was... I can't remember if we talked about it even on the old podcast or... No, I don't think the Switch was out at that time. But I know we talked in person. That's what we said. That I think it's hard to people imagine now, but when that system came out, people wonder if it was going to be a success at all.
Yeah.
And I was one of them, I won't lie. And that's exactly what I said. I was like, yeah, you're going to have the mainline Nintendo games, but it might be the same Wii U situation where there's no third-party games because the system isn't selling, but that's the weird part. The system is selling unlike the Wii U, and there's still not third-party games.
Something I know that's got to be bothering them, and they're trying to figure out how to fight it. And I know that's probably what Lite was doing. With how successful the Wii was, they also had handheld sales selling.
Yeah.
And those are like 2 of the most successful video game consoles. So I wonder if that's got to play a lot into it, too. The people that would buy your handhelds are the same people that buy your home consoles.
Yeah.
So I wonder if there's a way for them to get around that. I did hear talks of like a Lite reversed, like a more powerful, to go back to rumors, like a more powerful Switch, but it's docked all the time. It's just an enclosed console that you can't take on the go. I don't know.
Yeah, I think that would be weird. Just like I thought the Lite was weird because I feel like what it's named for and what it's designed for is to be able to switch back and forth, which I think is cool. Its feature.
I didn't think about that. Yeah.
But yeah, eventually they're going to have to do something. Like I said, it is impressive that they've been able to do that for almost 2 straight years with it being so underpowered, but it's just going to become blatantly obvious how underpowered they are within the next few months, and
Yeah.
obviously going forward, it's just going to get worse. So, yeah, there have been rumors, I feel like, for the last 2 years about an actual upgrade Switch. So I feel like it's just a matter of time. But then you also have to wonder if it's just going to be up to par and then, again, be outdated within a year or two. Because I can't imagine they're going to make something more powerful than the Xbox Series X and PS5.
Yeah, or even equivalent.
Yeah. So I don't know really what that benefits, because I'm sure that's definitely a big part of the third party, is that it's not easy to just transfer every game over. A lot of games that come to the current gen even can't go to the Switch right now.
Yeah, didn't the Mafia, Witcher, all these games had problems on the Switch, didn't they?
Yeah, and I haven't played any of the ones people have said have had issues, but yeah, people even said that about Doom and the Outer Worlds. People said how both they could run, but they were not the same on the Switch.
Yeah.
Which, yeah, seems kind of weird. I mean, it makes sense, but it seems weird in that aspect. But
I need to play my Switch more.
Yeah, me too.
God, I don't know. I don't know if I'm gaming away from the house, I just take my laptop.
Yeah, I hear you.
It's good for road trips though.
Oh yeah. Which we need to make happen once this nonsense is over and we're allowed to do things.
I'm down.
I mean, I'd be even more down for it now. It just kind of sucks because anywhere you go, you're not going to be able to do much with it anyway, so it's kind of pointless at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Which sucks because I said that's like the best getaway you could get right now from everything is to just go on a road trip, but then it kind of defeats the purpose, so.
Yeah. I just feel like we're back to square one, like the shit we're talking about again. Lockdowns and...
Which... Let's be honest, the only lockdown we should be talking about is Halo, am I right?
Boom, let's go, buddy. That was probably my least favorite.
Really?
Maybe. I'm trying to think.
That was one of my all-time favorites. At the time, it was my favorite.
That might actually be my all-time favorite. Did I say that backwards? I'm trying to remember. Yeah, that's where you freeze. Punch the ground and freeze.
Oh, no, Lockdown's a map. It's, you're thinking Armor Lock.
Armor Lock, okay.
Lockdown was first in Halo 2. They've done a couple of versions of it since then.
I'm a big Halo fan.
But it's kind of snowy looking, but it's gray platforms. There's a center in the middle with a glass right on the middle of it you could break.
Okay, I think I remember that.
A grav lift right in front of that. It's hard to describe because a lot of Halo levels sound like this, but...
Beaver Creek.
That's a good one, yeah.
That's my favorite.
That was my favorite in Halo 1 was Battle Creek. That was my favorite.
Battle Creek?
Yeah.
What did I just say, Beaver Creek?
That was in Halo 2, I think.
Was it?
Yeah, so, yeah, it was a thing. But like I said, in 2, Lockdown was my favorite, but in Halo 1, Battle Creek's my favorite.
Yeah. Armor Lock was my... I'm trying to remember, though, because it felt like every time people would just wait for that to go away, and then you're fucking dead anyway, so it didn't matter.
Yeah, it was one of those things people I feel like didn't know how to use because, yeah, you'd do that, but, yeah. Yeah, it had a lot of benefits. Like, the not annoying thing, it was cool, but there wasn't much get around for vehicles going straight into you, especially ghosts boosting at you. Like, unless you were just really good at jumping or if you saw them the last thing you're done for. But Armor Lock, you could do it the last second and it would destroy the ghost rays that hit you. Or if you saw somebody throwing a grenade and it hasn't touched you yet, like a sticky grenade, you could go into Armor Lock and when it's in midair and then let it blow up around you and then come out of it. So there's a lot of benefits if you knew how to use it right.
Yeah, I just wait for my health to run low and then use it.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's what a lot of people did, just like I think it was like a bubble shield, but
yeah, exactly.
It also had the benefit too of if you somebody's dumb enough to come close to you while you were doing that and like try and whack you or something because you're invincible when you do it, that it's a EMP blast. That's why it destroys vehicles. So take off their shield.
Would it fuck with their HUD?
No, I wouldn't do that. No. Yeah, I guess that makes sense being electronical, but yeah, I don't think it did at least. Actually, this is a natural segue. I wasn't trying to do this. I just made that lame Halo joke. But this is from Shinobi. I don't know if you follow him on Twitter. He's one of those guys that somehow just has a ton of info and a lot of it has been true consistently.
I think you brought him up on another episode.
Oh, have I? I know I have a few people, but I don't know if I have with him. But he's somebody I follow. It's let me show you. You would know if you saw him. It just seems so fake. It's actually Shinobi 602, and it's the his. That's his
No,
avatar.
I don't know this person.
So you would think it's fake, but like I
Can you
said,
remind me to follow him after this?
Yeah.
That's great.
yeah, because he obviously has some insider source or something, because consistently he has real information ends up being true. But he said 343 Industries will give a, quote, high-level update on Halo Infinite in the coming weeks. But they said they won't be at the Game Awards, which I didn't really think about them being the Game Awards, but I guess that makes sense that people start putting that together. But I don't know what the hell a high-level update means. That just, hearing Halo again excites me, because like I said, I had a feeling that this was going to happen, that they would go away and just kind of keep going away until it came back up. So I'm guessing a high-level update means that it's going to be not just like, oh, we are still working on the game and hope it'll come out soon. It's going to be like something finite, like a...
Textures.
Huh?
I feel like textures has got to be a big thing on that list.
Oh, I'm sure, yeah.
Because they got shit on a lot.
Yeah, so I think it's going to be stuff like that, and maybe a finite date. I'll be surprised by that, but something big for them to point out, something like that.
And a console.
Yeah.
Console.
A lot of people are thinking of beta, which would be cool, but I don't know if that's realistic, or if they have so many struggles they had to delay the game. I don't know if putting effort into a beta would make sense.
My stepdad's like best friend, drank a shit ton of Monster, so they've been saving the receipts for me.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's supposed to be double XP, but this double XP expires December 31st.
Yeah, I remember I talked about that a few weeks ago, maybe longer than that. That's what I was wondering, because they printed those before they made the delay.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing they're going to extend that, but yeah, I haven't heard how that's going to work. I can't imagine they're just going to let it go waste. I'm guessing that.
I'm like, do I have to like store these somewhere on like a...
Yeah, I feel like they're going to, or maybe already have. Have you tried looking up? I feel like they make some kind of announcement to hold on to it, or that they're extending the date or something.
I wonder how responsive they are to tweets.
I don't know. I bet the main account wouldn't be. I bet if you could find a community manager or something like that, they would be. But the main account, especially after all the hate, probably just so much overload they could never respond if it wanted to.
Yeah, they're probably big targets.
Uh-huh.
I bet Monster might.
That could be, yeah. The next one, you might have a Cyberpunk issue, though. Where
Sorry. Also wanted to let you know, there's probably like a maximum amount you could use these, so I'm sure I have some leftovers I can hit you up with.
Okay. Yeah, if you have Monster respond, you might have the issue where it's a Cyberpunk issue where whoever's working the Monster account just wants to answer but doesn't actually know. And go, oh, okay, sweet, now I know. And then they gave wrong info, just be like, I think that's it, I don't know.
Well, I heard in their defense, I know it's shitty, but the company was like, yes, this is definitely it. And then randomly one day they're like, no, it's not it.
Yeah.
So it kind of sucks for them. I feel like it wasn't their fault.
Yeah. Well, actually, I guess we could talk about this. This might have been who you were thinking of that I brought up before. His name's Brad Sams. He's the one that had that huge leak on the Xbox Series X.
Yep.
Yeah. But this is somebody I didn't know. I was like, why the fuck would people trust this? And then I started seeing who he was and what he's talked about and everything. And he tweeted a picture of a bunch of Halo promotional items that say coming soon, Halo Infinite promotional items that say coming soon. And he said that they'll be in retail soon, but that's all he has on it. But I feel like that probably correlates with the what the other guy that isn't in the know is talking about, and there must be some reason that all this being brought up right now.
What's in the photos?
Looks like...
One's right up my alley.
I only saved one screenshot. I can't even tell. This would be fucking awesome. If it's a console, but I think looks kind of neat. Just like a
poster.
Yeah, like something you put on like a standee or something like that, or like the shelves, like the siding or whatever.
Oh yeah, yeah. I feel bad for Mega Bloks too. They had that massive release that just sits on Target shelves right now.
The next one, I thought this was clickbait, but it's real. I don't know if you saw this. It's from Kotaku, and it's the NFL. NFL cancels the Pro Bowl and will play it in Madden instead. Do you know what the Pro Bowl is?
Yeah.
Like the all-star game of other sporting events. And I couldn't believe that was a real article. The Pro Bowl is essentially pointless and always been a joke, and has become worse and worse as the years go on. Like, probably 80% of players that get picked bail out of it because they're in the Super Bowl, because now they played before that and don't want to risk getting injured. Or even top players that aren't in the Super Bowl, they just don't want to risk losing all that money in playing time just to play in a pointless game.
Yeah, I noticed usually the Browns send a couple players a year.
Yeah. So
I think Myles Garrett won last year.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
So it pretty much is a Madden game already. So it is fucking weird to see that as a real article. And maybe it wouldn't have happened if all the virus nonsense wasn't going on. I'm sure that played into them being okay doing it.
Will they play their position?
I don't know how it's going to work.
Like individual? I don't know either. Like a tournament? Yeah. I know Myles Garrett's a big gamer.
Yeah.
They probably could throw down. What do they say? Knock some sticks? Pass me the sticks?
Yeah, that's it. Then this next one, I don't know if you saw this. You'd be excited. I don't know what the fuck this is going to be, but it's from G4's official account. They finally shared something again. And it says, "We know you're all good people, so we'll see you at our very special G4 holiday reunion special. And it's November 24th on G4 TV on YouTube. And then it's going to be on Sci-Fi on November 27th. And it says the original cast of G4 and more." And that's...
Didn't, what's his name retire completely, though? He said never doing anything gaming-related.
Who's that?
We met him at PAX.
Oh, Adam Sessler?
Adam Sessler. Didn't he say, "I'm done. I'm out"?
I don't think so, because he works at the company that made Friday the 13th and
Maybe I'm high
Predator.
as a kite.
So if he did, I never heard that.
I don't know why that just stuck out to me. I remember like a mass like deuces. That was a weird guy meeting in person. You know how much I watched him on G4?
Yeah.
That was really weird. And you can tell he gets it all the time. Like, "Hey, can I take a photo?" Sure. It's just weird. Like, what the fuck? I've been like 10 years on television, dude.
Yeah, so I don't think we talked.
They used to decide sleepovers.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, dude, this guy's my one friend's got Dish. Okay, we're staying there.
Yeah, so that's a bummer for me. I have a connection to it, but not really personal. It's kind of just more jealous because I never really had it. So,
even the old episodes are great to watch.
Yeah.
Like we were like on Xbox 360 and we'd watch old PS2 episodes. We didn't give a fuck.
We talked probably a couple months ago at this point now about this G4 coming back. This doesn't sound like it coming back. I mean, this is part of that because it's from that G4 account, but I don't think this is like the first episode or something. This kind of sounds like a get together to be able to promote it coming back.
So it's gonna be on YouTube first and then Sci-Fi.
Yeah, YouTube on November 24th.
And then 27th Sci-Fi.
Yeah, at let's see the time, 9 p.m. our time on the 24th, and then midnight on Sci-Fi.
And then it's all of the shows cast. Like
it says, yeah, well, it just says with the original cast of G4 and more. So
okay,
I guess that means whoever that was willing to do it with them.
Attack of the Show. Oh, I remember when that was closing down. It was real sad. You could win the cell phones.
Yeah, Mary told me that.
Man, I would love to have one of those cell phones.
The last game news we have, and I have a couple movie things, is Star Wars Squadrons, which
Star Wars.
I still haven't played it, but a few episodes ago, me and you both praised it because they said how there would be no post-game content, which that kind of feeds in to what we were talking about earlier, that no game can just be a game release. It always has to be an ongoing thing. And I said at the time that I don't think every game just has to be stagnant. I get like map packs, and I definitely get patches and updates. I think that's necessary now for sure. But more so just, like I said, not even map packs or not even just like an extra story mode if they want to add it on, but just always ongoing things. But it seemed like they backtracked pretty fast because it said developer EA Motive said, oh wait, no, here it is. Oh yeah, I was talking about how they said back in October that they would never do that. And now it says, and yet here we are roughly 6 weeks later with an official post detailing 2 new updates planned for the coming weeks. They'll add a new map and 2 more ships to pilot. And then it just talks about what they think about that. It doesn't say if it's free or if it costs anything. I'm guessing they're free. And like I said, that sounds right up like what I was talking about. That doesn't sound excessive or anything, and sounds like they're kind of just making the game.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah, so you don't get sick of it. I do think it's kind of a hard turn after. I thought it was already weird how firm of a stance they took that it would never be updated in that kind of way, especially for EA. And I'm not an EA hater. That just seems so opposite. But we talked about then that we thought maybe that was a sign of things changing, that they were realizing that people are getting sick of just things always changing and never just being like a game, like I said. So it does seem like a crazy turn. But yeah, it doesn't seem like too massive. I just hope that that's what it is, and not in 2 weeks there's 2 more modes and just keeps going. I haven't played it, so I'm not talking like personally. It was refreshing to see something like that in just a broad overview of something like that. So yeah, I think that's totally a fair update. It'd be interesting to follow it and see if that's an ongoing thing, or if they just think they have to put some new content in here and there. Then the last 2 things, like I said, were both movie related. The first one, I don't know if you saw this, I just thought it was kind of crazy that so many Marvel movies have got delayed out this year. This is the first time since 2009 that there'll be no MCU movie released in the theaters. Wow. Which is, yeah, that's
Jesus Christ.
Oh, that is fucking so weird.
I think we
that's
needed
more
that,
than a decade.
I think we needed that.
I don't know. Like I said, I definitely don't think all of them have been amazing. Amazing Spider-Man, you know what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
But I don't know. I guess Marvel went a bit overboard with how many. But like I said, I never understood the hate on like Star Wars doing 1 movie a year. I get that. Yeah, they had 3 for decades and decades, but that always seemed weird to me that that's what you want. So you just want those movies and nothing else until you die. You just don't want Star Wars again. I was like, 1 Star Wars a year, and most of them seem in pretty good quality and kind of opinionated whether you like them or not, but most of them seem quality at least.
Yeah.
I feel like that's kind of weird, and even before the virus and all that, I feel like people kind of screwed that up because I feel like they backtracked on that real quick because of people's reaction to it.
And the one that failed, I think, was probably the second best one that Disney made.
Yeah.
Solo.
We should do an episode sometime ranking all the Star Wars movies, rewatch them.
I'd be down for that.
We could watch them together or separately and then rank them all. I think it'd be fun.
I think we would agree a lot, but I think we get a lot of hate, too, at the same time.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Because I think we already, I guess we won't say it here, but I think we already have the same favorite. But I think what would be fun about watching them again, I would like to do that anyways. And also, I think maybe some things could change if you see them again and have different views on them now.
I think we should do everything, though, in the animated series.
Okay.
And the Christmas special.
The Lego one they just put out, or you mean the old one?
The old one.
Did you see that on Disney Plus they did a Christmas Lego special of Star Wars?
That's great. No,
yeah.
I haven't seen it.
I think that's a cool idea. I haven't watched it myself. I think it just came out. And then the next one is Wonder Woman 1984. I thought they delayed this again, but I guess I'm wrong. It's still coming out Christmas Day. But today they announced that it'll be released in theaters on Christmas Day, but also on HBO Max the same day, and for free if you have HBO Max.
Holy shit.
Yeah, so
HBO
that is...
Max, they're swinging big dicks.
Yeah, I was like, they're saying it's free, but that couldn't be free unless it's the same company as...
Well, they're saying free if you have HBO Max.
No, I know. I'm saying on HBO's end, that can't be free unless they're the same... I don't know if they own Warner Brothers.
I don't think so.
Or is there a parent company, or Warner Brothers parent company of them? Because there's no way you had to make it free for all the subscribers that was free on HBO's end. That had to be a...
Oh, HBO Max, man, that's such a good deal.
Yeah, I feel like this is an interesting way to do it instead of just doing the Mulan shit that Disney did where they put it out for $30 to rent it on a service you already had to pay for.
Yeah.
I was like, that is fucking nuts. And if that's what people want, if they want theaters to go away and are okay doing that for movies, I'm not going to be into... I'll be watching movies, but not when they first come out or do anything like that.
I finally heard someone say they like Mulan.
Yeah, I've heard some people say that, and I'm not against watching. I wasn't the biggest fan of the The animated one.
What?
Yeah,
that's my favorite princess movie.
I think it's good, but yeah, I never understood the love for it. And yeah, it's good.
Yeah, I love. That's definitely the best princess movie to me. I don't really like him though. That's the only one I really like. But this person also has a live, laugh, love tattoo, so I don't think I can fucking trust him. They're also huge Fast and the Furious fans. So it's like, yeah.
Well, who isn't though? Am I right?
Oh, definitely, man. Fucking love those movies.
We can.
They're fun.
Yeah, they are.
So much fun.
That's how I describe them. You're right.
It's really fun when the credits roll and you can go home.
And then talk about how great it was. How much fun you had.
You laugh, but that first one's amazing, and that third one's amazing too.
Oh, I said I think the some of the first few were actually genuinely good movies, and that's why I said that's why I get why some people jumped off board, but I just morphed them into different things because I realized they were not trying to be. I know a lot of people would still take them serious and think they're like the craziest, most serious story, but I think if you pay attention to movies, you can tell if people are making it or not taking it serious and know that it's fucking ridiculously dumb, fun action, not some deep story.
The third one, Tokyo Drift, we stayed after and watched it again.
Really?
We stole it. But yeah, we stayed in the credits and danced to the music just because that soundtrack's so good. So good. Second one was not that good. First one's really good.
I haven't seen the last couple. I'm behind. Can you change that?
Sounds good to me, man. You should just live in ignorance.
That's all the news I had this week, though. We can move on to media pickups. Do you have any?
I have one, thanks to you.
Oh, same thing I got.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, I guess I could show you the Game and Watch. I don't know if this even show up on the camera.
You got to do that dumbass YouTube thing.
Bloop, bloop. But yeah, this little guy here, me and Cody both got one.
Hey, you picked it up for me, buddy. Thank you.
You're welcome. That's the only media pickup I have as well.
Do you think this is it? They're not making it anymore?
You mean different designs or like another run of the same thing?
Another run of the same thing.
I bet they'll do at least a couple more. Yeah. It'd be cool to have the only run, but I wouldn't be against them doing a couple more because I feel like people should get more of a chance at it if you didn't get the first run.
Oh, sorry. I meant to ask you this. I meant to ask you before I did it, but I just did it without even thinking. I stole your baggie off your charger. Is that okay? I threw it in the box.
Oh, the bag. Yeah.
Is that cool? I'm so fucking hoardery. It's great. Casey gave me his box because he's an animal and wanted to throw away his box. I'm so shocked by the build. Not really, because it's Nintendo and the price, $50.
Yeah.
It is so well made. The screen is really nice.
Yeah.
I'm worried about the screen getting scratched, though, if you're throwing this in your pocket.
Yeah, definitely. No, that was we only messed around with it for a few minutes, but that's what we both were saying right away, that we couldn't believe the build quality of it. The speaker is sounds loud, but also sounds pretty quality for something this small. It doesn't sound like muffled like a lot of these devices do. Yeah, the screen's super bright.
Same charger as the Wii U Switch.
Whoops. Now our video's gonna get banned. Yeah, USB-C. And
how many current views do we have? I meant to ask you this.
It's total. It's at over 2,200.
So we are a quarter of the way from getting monetized.
Oh, is that how it is overall views?
I think it's 10,000 overall views.
Okay. Well, we'll have to do a few more extra lives then.
That's right. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I think if you're getting this, I think majority of people already know, and they're just collecting it. There's not much to it. You can play Mario. You can play one of the old Game & Watch games. So, yeah, breaking it down too much like that, it could fall apart fast. But I think, like I said, majority of people buying this are buying it as a collector's thing, and I think they did an amazing job at that.
Yeah.
I think if you try and buy it like you're buying a DS, you're going to be like, what the fuck? Yeah, you guys, a couple games. This game pretty old.
Do you think they'll make more versions?
I think that's more likely, and I think very Nintendo-y to do that, to be like, well, do you want all 10? And this has this game in this color. And, oh, God. And that's where I'll have to jump out.
Yeah.
But just as a one-off thing, I thought it was cool.
Do you ever see the story behind these?
I don't think so.
The guy that made these. He was on a train.
Oh, yeah, you told me that, yeah. I don't know if you told me on podcast or not, though.
Yeah, I don't remember if not either. But the guy that made Game & Watches, he also went on to make Wonder Swan and the Virtual Boy's Ultimate Death. I think he had Game Boy. So this is huge. Unfortunately, he died in a car accident. So sad. But he saw a guy just was so bored on the train. He was just fucking typing random numbers into the calculator. I probably said this before too. I hope he was just like typing boob over and over again or something. But it's Japan, so probably not. And he just saw a guy playing with a calculator, and he's like, what if I took the technology of a calculator and made a game out of it? I strongly recommend looking up. There's so many like YouTube mini documentaries. His Wikipedia page is so interesting. I feel like Nintendo's has a lot of famous developers and inventors and CEOs, and he was kind of one that flew under the radar, and I think he was incredibly important. And probably a lot of what he did had a lot to do with the Switch today. And the fact they don't even talk about him when they made this is a little sad. Because I don't think he left Nintendo under good terms. Because the Virtual Boy was like Nintendo's like biggest failure.
Yeah.
So I don't think it was under good terms that he left.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I like it. I just wish there was a front-facing camera for the selfies. But other than that, I think it's pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm just shocked. Like I was even like putting this close, trying to see pixels on the screen, and it was insane how good it looks.
Yeah, I think it's definitely cool as like I said, as a one-off thing for me. I think it'd definitely be more likely to do more models and colors with different games, and I would like to collect them, but I know I wouldn't. And yeah, I think that it's definitely possible to do a couple more runs of this one as well. I think it'll be like this one as well, though, that they'll do it and they'll sell out right away. I don't think it's going to be something that's just always on the shelves. And like I said, I think that'd be fair, because I think if you are somebody that really wants one, it sucks just to never have that chance again unless you want to pay overpaid prices, whatever, to be able to get one. So I wouldn't be against if they did that. I mean, I got mine, so it's easy to be like, yeah, I just don't want any more come out. The price will go up, but and that would suck for people who didn't get a chance to get it.
I wish they were like the original ones, though, where it was clamshell.
Yeah.
So protect the screen more.
Yeah.
And if you look, too, his designs for Game & Watch were definitely repeated with the DS. It was like the same setup. It's one of those stories where you're like, man, you didn't get enough credit.
Yeah. I know what you mean. What have you been playing lately?
I beat Modern Warfare.
Okay.
Did I say it last week?
I don't think so.
No? Okay, I think I beat it after then. It was really, really good, man. Great story. I don't think you can really go wrong with those stories. Played on the hardest difficulty. Last couple missions gave me some shit, but I got through it. Popped some pretty big achievements. Then went on and been playing Fallen Order. It's gotten better. Really good story-wise. I can't believe how much stuff they kept in there that's still from the Clone Wars. I thought it was just off, like, little just thing at the beginning. But it has a lot to do with the Clone Wars. Because it's like 10 years after the Clone Wars. And there's just... I don't want to say too much just because it's a lot of, like, the way they present it. You're like, oh, shit.
Yeah.
So I don't want to spoil it for people listening or you.
I gotcha.
But it's good. I think I have... a few more. I have the final chapter, which is not much, doesn't look like it's too long, and then there's 6 chapters. I'm on halfway through 5, so I'm almost finished.
I know last time you talked about, you said you're getting kind of sick of the gameplay. Is that the case, or you're...
No, man. I took a break, and the story has gotten so much better, and they've changed up a little bit more of the mechanics, and my guy's finally powering up, leveling up a little bit more, so the game's a lot easier. I'm learning it, but yeah, it's totally changed from last time.
Nice. Put the clock here.
There you go.
I doubt it even shows up on there.
Oh, it is. It is. It's
really?
Pretty clear, yeah.
That's especially surprising on the dark mode. Anything besides Star Wars and Call of Duty?
Just a little bit here and there with Witcher 1.
Okay.
I'm still not sure if I'll stick with it.
I gotcha.
It's a great story, man, but it's an old game.
Yeah. I've only played one game this week. It was Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War, which I still can't believe that's the name. Every time I say it, it sounds so ridiculous. I streamed it a couple times to finish the campaign and play some multiplayer and zombies. I only rented the game. I don't want to keep buying these games and then sell them or just never play them again. So I decided to do that. I finished the campaign, like I said.
Where'd you rent it?
Family Video.
Really?
Redbox. You have Family Video?
Wow.
Yeah, it was. I went like at almost when they were getting close, so they won't even have it because I got the day it came out, and they still had one left.
Wow.
So I got lucky because they don't get a ton of games, obviously. So usually if a big one comes out like that, if you don't get it right away, it's gone. But I finished the campaign, like I said. I'll talk about it without spoiling it because I know you haven't played it. I know it's really new. But I enjoyed it. It's probably the most I enjoyed a campaign of Call of Duty since Black Ops 1. That's actually my favorite one, as far as campaign is the first Black Ops. This is, I think, my second favorite. There are issues I have with it. Like every Call of Duty, like I said, it has the same narrative hook and like the same lead-ups to everything that you're not allowed to walk past people and kind of pulls you out of it for me. But I expected that. I didn't think that would be something that changed.
Is that beeping? Yeah. Oh, is it? Okay, I was like,
yeah,
losing my goddamn mind.
When it does coming through on the podcast, just like a ticking time bomb while we're talking about something. I'm going to turn that off just in case. I couldn't hear it with both of these on. But, yeah, so I'll talk about it without spoiling it. One of the things that hooked me right from the beginning, and I actually was like, oh, man, this might be finally different for me, is the music is so fucking good. It's they have licensed songs in it and like the perfect songs for the time period, like Vietnam War and Cold War period and everything. So it's just the fucking best music. And I was like, oh man, this is actually getting me excited and really into it. But I think the campaign's really fucking short, even for Call of Duty. It's you can finish a straight campaign in 4 hours. Whoa. And then they have side missions now, which is weird, but it's not. When I heard that, Derek was like, yeah, it's awesome to have side missions. I was like, oh, God. And now we need this to have, like, branching things. But
Modern Warfare did, too. So did Modern Warfare. Like, you mean, like, Spec Ops, like Special Operations kind of things?
But, like, in the campaign, though? Like, built into it?
Well, you remember how Modern Warfare ended and was, like, led into the Spec Ops missions?
Oh, yeah. No, this is, like, built into the campaign.
Oh, it's like you're on Chapter 1 and be like, if you want, Earl needs help in Vietnam.
Yeah, but they do, I think it's smoother and more natural. That's why I was worried. I was like, is this really going to be, like, go over here and then this side mission's waiting? It's, like
Wolfenstein or something?
Yeah. You're on, I don't know what they call it. I think an evidence board. So you're like putting together what's happening in this story. And then when you finish like chapter 2, then chapter 3 will pop up and there'll be another mission they can do. And then when you do it, it just feels like another mission though. So I was like, this kind of seems like they're adding an extra mission to do. It doesn't really seem like a side mission to me. So that actually didn't bother me. But even doing those would probably make a maximum of like 5.5 hours.
Dang.
So yeah, it's super short, but I think it starts really strong the first like hour and having all that music. I was like, man, this is gonna be fucking awesome. And then I think the next like 2 hours, I was kind of like, this just, they kind of lose all that excitement for me, at least. That's just my opinion. And it kind of seemed like they only paid for a handful of licensed songs because it has all those at the beginning, and then the licensed songs just go away for the rest of the game. So I think they probably bought them and then didn't want to spend too much money. Not that Activision didn't have the money. Obviously, they had money to be able to put it throughout the whole campaign. But I think they didn't probably want to spend the money even though they could. But it sucks because I wish it would at least spread those out a little bit because it starts so strong with that. And like I said, feels natural in the game, and then it just fucking goes away the entire game. And then I think the last like hour of the campaign, even though the music doesn't come back, it does pick up and does some cool stuff. And I don't want to ruin it, but it does some really different stuff at the end of the game where it does have multiple endings. That's in the achievements and it's not secret. That I only finished once. It would give more replayability, and I don't know how they handle it. But again, I don't really think that's what Call of Duty needed. I don't think it needed multiple endings. Maybe it makes sense if you do it. Maybe I'd feel different if I actually did it myself. But I don't really feel the need to go back or want to do that. I'm sure if you were, like, if this was your Halo, I'm sure you'd want to do that and do it. So maybe you'd feel different. But then there's things that just really mess with it aside from my opinions.
Just keep thinking Twin Pilots. My opinions.
Oh. But the gameplay ran super smooth. There would be the crazy over-the-top Call of Duty scenes where there's trucks everywhere, crazy gunfire, you're on turret, all that, explosions everywhere, stuff that you think would maybe get the game chugging sluggish a little.
Uh-huh.
It ran perfectly fine, but then it would get to a cutscene that was not graphic heavy at all, and it would just fucking move at a snail's pace, and it would literally just like skip along.
Like chopping?
Yeah, just...
Oh,
like I said, I streamed it, so there's video evidence of it. I'm glad, because I feel like if I had told somebody, they'd be like, oh, so just running slow for you? I've never seen anything like this. It was fucking awful. And then
a bad time to happen, too.
Yeah, and it wasn't, I was like, oh, maybe it just had like a bad read, but it did it for almost every cutscene. And I even tried a hard reboot on my Xbox, so maybe it just installed weird or something. But then it would do something even weirder. It would slow down, but the audio wouldn't slow down. So the audio is still moving at the same speed. So the audio would finish, but then the video wasn't done. So it would just be silent video for like 3 minutes after the audio was done. Or it would do this something even weirder where it would try and make up for moving so slow. So it moved 10 times too fast after being slow. So then everything was so fast you couldn't see it. And I was like, what the hell? And the only thing I can think of it after trying like a hard reboot and trying stuff on my end is that I feel like it's because I'm on an original Xbox One and this is a brand new game meant for the next gen. And everybody talks to me, well, yeah, if you're playing Xbox One, original Xbox One, you should expect that. I'm like, but no, I shouldn't, because Microsoft literally said this is what we shouldn't expect and that the games will play the same. Well, yeah, but you got to know the system's old. I do, but that's not what they presented it as. So if I think it's messed up either way, but that's how it's going to be, then it should be presented that way. So, yeah, you can buy it in a current gen, but it's like a PC. It's not going to run very well, or here's what will run like it, what you have. Maybe I just had a one-off, maybe installed wrong or something. Maybe this isn't normal, but I'm guessing that's the most likely thing. Like I said, it seems weird that it happened in cutscenes. Cutscenes are the least graphic-heavy thing, the least intensive, but I feel like that has to be what it is, and I don't think that's a valid excuse for a game not to run well.
How'd the multiplayer run?
It ran fine, too. And
really?
Yeah, you were asking about that. I can talk about things without spoiling it. Yeah, it is a weird mixture of not like too twitching, not immediate death. But I think one of them did this. I think it was, can't remember what Call of Duty it was. I thought it actually made it worse because I feel like they tried to make a half step into not twitchiness, but not like you have shields and everything. So it seems like it takes too many bullets to die, but not enough at the same time. So it's like a weird mixture. I'm guessing that's what you meant about feeling clunky like that.
Well, I saw movement too. Like I watched some live streamers playing multiplayer, and just the characters were like, it almost looked like when you're the Juggernaut in Modern Warfare, just like clone, clone, clone.
It didn't feel like that to me. That I remember. Yeah. And I played a little bit of Zombies. It seemed fun. It seemed like they were doing some cool stuff there. Like I said, I've never really been that into Zombies. I did forget when I said that I think it was the last Black Ops before this is when they changed Zombies up a lot and had like boss battles and everything. I thought that actually was a change of pace, and I forget that I kind of like Zombies then. I think that's when most people started hating Zombies, when they added all that. But I never liked Zombies, so I was cool with that, and it seemed like they kind of went farther down that route to make it more of a thing like that in this. So it seemed more interesting, but I actually got to return it, and I'm not sure if I'll buy it. Well, if I'll play it again now. I know Derek was telling me that they're going to add Warzone's already on there. You just click and it boots you out to actual Warzone. But he said they're going to like integrate it and make a new map, and all the guns will be in Warzone.
Oh, it'll be set Vietnam War map?
Yeah, so I'd be curious to see that, but I don't know if that's enough to get me to buy an entire game just for that. But
yeah, I don't. Gosh, see, this is something too. My friend Andrew is crazy into it, and I was listening to him when he was playing when I was playing with him last week during the launch, and hear his live reactions and like the Fortunate Son helicopter shit, and it sounded great. But I think I want to wait till I get a new console.
Yeah. If that's a normal experience, then I definitely don't blame you. It was fucking stupid.
Get a new console. I'm so excited to get it. I'm more excited now than I would be getting it at launch because I feel like I hope, please God, Jesus, if you're out there, we need a Halo one.
Yeah.
And then we need a Halo. If they make a Halo, as long as I have enough money, like I'm not gonna go broke buying this shit. But in the hard drive, the
SSD, you mean, or
like the spare one, was that called external hard drive?
Oh, external, yeah.
You know how they had the Gears of War? They would come out with Gears themed everything: controller, spare controller, the console, SSD, and the collector's edition or something. I would like to do that for the next Halo.
Well, let me show you something. It's beautiful.
Is it external hard drive?
It is, and it's so cool that I was like, oh shit, I need that. And I was like, I don't fucking need an external hard drive. They just announced this Seagate. Look how cool it looks.
Oh, that's awesome.
Oh man, that
What's
looks...
the price on that?
That was aftermarket. I know it's not that expensive. Let's see. I'm sure it's going to be overpriced for what it normally would be, though. Let's bring up a Halo Wars 2 Seagate. I didn't know it was a thing.
Yeah, I would definitely purchase that.
Oh, shit. That's cool, too.
Oh, that's beautiful. Holy shit. Who's the Brute Chieftain?
Oh, yeah. So...
What's his name?
Atriarchs.
Atriarchs.
God, I can't find on... Oh, here's targets. That should be the same. $130 for 2 terabytes. So definitely overpriced. But...
For 2 terabytes?
Yeah. I got my 4 terabyte for 90 new.
Is this just for the Series... For the Series X? SSD?
No, this is an SSD. All external hard drive, isn't it? None of them are SSD. The only time it's SSD is if you buy the expansion card thing.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'd want an expansion card then.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be cool, but those are so small that I'm not sure if it would really matter what it looked like. I mean, it would look more clean on your console, but it'd be kind of like a memory card, but it'd just be on there.
Do you remember the PS1 Tomb Raider memory cards?
No.
It had Lara Croft on the top of it.
I don't think so.
Hang out your console.
I don't remember that.
That'd be cool to have Master Chief one for that.
Jinx.
Ooh, will those work on the Series X then? Because they're saying it won't, right?
They will, but not the way they do on current gen. You plug them in, you can store stuff on it, but then you have to move it over to your console every time you want to do it. Yeah, so that's why SSD is kind of your only option for actual added memory.
Okay, well, I guess that'll be something that if they can't get a themed one, I'll hold off on it then and wait till my console fills up.
Yeah.
Wait till I run into storage issues, and then I'll consider getting one. But yeah, it'd be nice to get the Halo launch console, I guess, then, and maybe a themed expansion, and an extra controller.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Halo controller.
Or it'd be nice if they could just give us a fucking reasonable amount of memory to begin with so we don't have to get expansion, but I don't think that's going to happen.
Well, you think that sometimes the special editions do come with expanded memory.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
That's all I've actually played this week, though. Have you watched anything?
What have I watched? Nothing really. Just a lot of YouTube this week. Just mindless YouTube. Yep.
I gotcha. I'm about in the same boat. The only thing I watched was we watched Lost last week. We got together for our 2 episodes and watched that. You guys have been missed, let me tell you. But that's all I've watched was just Lost, besides random stuff that I couldn't tell you what it was if I tried to think of it now.
Yeah.
Just like YouTube and random videos and stuff like that, like you said. Then we can get into the free games.
Can I start off with something new?
Yeah, for the...
I try to remember this every once in a while.
Okay.
New Game Pass games came out. They put a bunch of Double Fine stuff over there. Great games. And Gears Tactics came out.
I saw that. I downloaded it. I haven't played it yet.
I haven't either. I want to play through Gears 5 first. I know they're not related story-wise.
Oh, jeez.
Not related story-wise, so I'm not too concerned. But, yeah.
That's not co-op, is it?
I don't think so.
So that would definitely make it more intriguing to play that. Just I don't know if I'm going to be able to get into it. I'm going to give it a try and hope so. I also haven't started playing it because I feel like even if I do like it, to have any shot at liking it, I think I'm going to have to commit some time. I can't just pick it up like I would Gears or anything like that and just play a level.
Yeah.
I think you're going to have to learn the mechanics if you don't have any shot at playing it. And probably some long tutorials, I'm guessing, especially for somebody like me that hasn't really played games like that. But yeah, no, you can definitely start doing that each time if you want. The free games, shout out to our guy Trevor. On 360, you got Lego Indiana Jones till November 30th. On Xbox One, you got Origami Shadow Edition till November 30th. And Swim Sanity, shit, I forgot to look that up, till December 15th. I want to see what kind of game that is. I even downloaded it. I don't know. And then on PlayStation Plus, you have Middle-earth, Shadow of War, and Hollow Knight Void Edition till December 3rd. And then you have Bug Snacks on PS5 till January 4th. I still need to test that, downloading that.
I need you to, because it's something I definitely would want to get.
Yeah. Do you have any fake outrage this week?
Yeah, bud. Actually, I do. Not really fake, though.
Sounds familiar.
Know that your profile picture is lacking your Corona mask and like at least a filter or something to show support for the Black Lives Matter movement. I've just seen like zero pandering or virtue signaling on your profile, and it's kind of upsetting.
Okay, can I respond to that since you're being serious?
Well, I thought maybe because we're both out.
Right.
Like I wanted you to be an ally in this cause too. I just wanted you to think, about your white privilege and possibly putting some filters on there. And I saw zero excitement on your profile for Oreo announcing the gluten-free options. So I was
actually kind of surprised it wasn't a Ray thing. I was like, is that news? It seems like something we've already had. But since you're being serious, I'll be serious back for you.
Thank you.
So I do think that's valid feedback. I could put a mask on, or at least a filter that shows I have a mask, even if I'm not actually wearing one. Like one of those funny things it puts over my face.
Yeah.
And then you said something to do with Black Lives Matter.
Like a filter. Facebook provides filters to show.
No, I got you. But I think that kind of counteracts when my picture has my dog in it. That's incredibly fucking racist. And maybe that actually would work, though. Like, just not address the fact that the thing in my picture is racist and just put something up there that says, I care about black people, even though the thing in my picture is very racist. Yeah,
your dog. You should probably shoot your dog then. At least you should definitely, post a video apologizing.
Is that just like a video of him when he's barking like crazy and yapping around?
Just put subtitles down there.
He's such a spaz, I couldn't even get a video of that if I tried.
I should probably clarify, too, we're not being racist here. I'm making fun of the white people that fill my news feed up with that horse shit. Like they've gone so far left, it's almost racist in self that they can't go around screaming about how not racist they are.
Well, I won't say any fake outrage this week because I think that was just a good Discord there to be able to learn some things about each other, and you teaching me things.
Yeah, dude.
So I appreciate that.
Also, if I hear one more fucking fat white middle-aged woman say air fryer, I'm gonna lose my mind. Dude, that's all I fucking hear anymore. These fat middle-aged white women just say air fryer.
They are pretty nifty. I don't even really use it, but they do seem pretty nifty.
I was at Costco today, and there was just 3 ladies there, man. I'm fat as fuck. But you're lying to yourself if you think air fryers is what's gonna turn around for you. Like, oh shit, Christine, there's the little air fryer over here. I'm like, you're just fucking lying to yourself. If I hear that or keto from air fryer keto, low carb, I'm gonna shoot myself in the head. And they always play pretend too. Go, this is the low carb bread. There's no such thing as low carb bread.
You know what I'm gonna do if I hear it one more? I'm gonna do crazy if I hear it one more time?
What's that?
I don't know if you've been listening to a lot of video game podcasts since the next gen started, but people talking about Astro's Playroom. Have you heard that?
Yeah.
Every single podcast, people are Astrobot. Is it Astro's Playroom? Every single podcast goes over it, and they all do the same exact scenario. I get it because they are confusing. I don't actually care. It's crazy. I haven't listened to one podcast that talked about it without being like, wait, what is it? And they all start doing it. And oh, no, here we go again.
Yeah.
It's my fault because most people probably just listen to their favorite show and don't listen to a lot of video game podcasts. But I just couldn't believe that every time. As soon as they start talking about the game, I'm like, oh, okay, I want to know what they think. I'm like, oh, God, I know where this is going. And it's gone there every single time.
I've only heard it on one, but I haven't really listened to much.
Yeah, if you did, you probably wouldn't be able to get around it. I guess that's something we could talk about real quick. Is how do we talk about this now? Is this the current gen, the ones we don't have? Is that the current gen now? And what we're on is the last gen?
Yeah.
Just so when we talk about going forward, I'm like, the next gen, this gen, okay.
Last gen.
All right, we're stuck in the last gen.
That's weird. It's been a while since I've been in the last gen.
Yeah. Shit, I don't know when my last one would have been because I got a Xbox One at launch. I got Xbox 360 at launch. I got a GameCube at launch.
Jesus.
So.
You were lucky.
Yeah.
I didn't get a 360 at launch.
You didn't?
Nah.
That was the first one I actually spent any of my own money on. Me and my brother knew it was coming out, so we saved up together half and half to buy it on day one.
My dad stood out at Best Buy real quick to just see, and then they were like, we're only giving out 12. And he wasn't.
Yeah. Which
is so funny to think about. See people spending $1,200 on the PS5.
Yeah.
$800 on the Xbox. The guys, these are going to be everywhere.
Oh, yeah.
And in like 10 years, they're going to be worthless.
Yeah, so I guess my last one I would have been behind the times on, and I don't think I even processed it at the time.
You had a GameCube at launch?
Yeah, that was my launch system, and I was not all Nintendo. I liked everything, but that was definitely my main. Like Xbox is now, Nintendo was my main then. And what changed is, like I said, when I played Halo, I was like, whoa, shit, now I made the wrong decision. I should have gotten an Xbox, and that's why I was able to morph over to Xbox. So I said Nintendo is by far my favorite.
I knew 2 people that had it at launch.
Really?
Yeah. That's like synonymous for 9/11 for me. Because I remember my babysitter had it, and he just would not. It was just on everyone's mind. But yeah, I just remember going over to his house because he got it, and he let me play it, and my mom couldn't pick me up, and then they're like out in the kitchen talking about it.
Yeah.
So it's always like synonymous for me. When someone says GameCube or GameCube launch, I think of that. Because it was pretty close, wasn't it? Was it the day? Am I remembering that wrong?
I don't think it was a day. It was definitely close because Xbox came out in November of 2001. Let's see.
Because I'm curious. But yeah, I remember that. Then I had a friend that had got it early too, but he was one of those kids that always got the new systems. It's usually the only children who always got lucky with that, getting all the consoles day one.
So in North America, it came out November 18th, 2001.
November 18th. Okay.
So, yeah, a couple
months after.
Yeah, I should have known that. I wasn't processing that. They always come out in November, so I should have known it wasn't on 9/11.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. The last gen that would have been
that far off.
Yeah.
I mean, that's such a big ass event, though. I felt
yeah.
Even the next year, people were still.
Yeah. I think 64, and that was definitely my main one, and then I had PS1, and then I don't know if I don't think it counted as a next gen. I didn't get a Dreamcast at launch, so I was behind time, but I don't think that's counted as next gen. I think the next gen started with the GameCube and PS2 and Xbox, so I don't think I was ever behind the times. Besides,
yeah, Dreamcast was awkwardly placed.
Yeah, I think it's like the Switch.
Yeah.
Or the Wii U, whichever one you want. Either of them.
Yeah. It was too early to compete with the PS2. PS2 was too advanced.
Yeah.
That DVD player, man. God. So funny thing about technology. How excited our whole family was when we got our first DVD player.
Yeah, well, I know.
That's some of the dumbest fucking DVDs, too, because they're the cheapest.
And we were all zooming in on 8mm.
Yeah, there was some random ass features in DVD players back then. Just dumb shit. A lot more special features, and you could zoom in on penises if you're Casey.
Well, the fuck, I never said that. I said we zoomed in on 8mm, which
Oh.
also just sounds like you're zooming in on that anyways.
Zoom in on your penis, Mr. Small Penis.
All right, is that a good place to end this?
Let's do it, Mr. Small Penis.
As always, you can follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at Current Backlog, and you can send any questions, and feedback to currentbackloggers@gmail.com.
What color? What was there only one color of the GameCube at launch?
I think so. We got purple. I think that's all it launched with.
Indigo.
Yeah. I think it came out with other colors later. I don't know if I'm making that up. I'll look and talk about next episode.
Goodbye, everybody.
Bye. What's happening over there?
Happy birthday
It's not
to
my
you. Happy birthday to Casey.
It's not my birthday.
It's kind of weird when you're singing by yourself. You kind of forget the lyrics. I'm just kind of lazy and just go along with what everyone else says.
And if there's enough, you can just move your mouth and not even do it. That's why I started doing it at work when they did happy birthdays. There's so many people that you can do.
Just like
nobody even notices.
They're gonna sing happy birthday to you?
No, they haven't done that since all this nonsense because we were all be in the break room.
Oh.
So.
Happy birthday, dear Casey. Happy birthday.
Can you say we're ready to record?
You. Oh, we're recording right now, buddy.
Oh, okay. So.
Figure it's a good, much better intro than whatever you had planned.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's kind of hard to intro when you're singing.
Do it at the same time though, okay? Happy birthday. I can't even know how to fucking finish this song. What is it? Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Casey. I forgot the happy birthday song. What's the rest of it?
I don't want to tell you it's much better this way. I do know it.
Happy birthday. It's like that office of fucking Ed Helms where he's like breaking off a piece of that fancy feast. What the fuck? I have to Google it. My phone's over there though, charging. I memorized my notes for this show.
Did you?
Yeah, there's not much, but that's what helps. Happy birthday, dear Casey.
There you go. That's what you're missing.
Happy birthday to you.
Not my birthday.
You're turning 30 though.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be 28 next, and I just stepped into Alzheimer's and forgot the happy birthday song.
Are we ready?
Yeah, I've been reconnected with a lot of high school friends, and they also been like, "Hey, remember this?" And I'm like, "No," so that's also not helping. So I'm pretty sure I do have memory loss. So all that adolescent drug use and caffeine and
there it is.
aspartame. All right, you go ahead and do the intro now, I guess.
Wow, thank you.
Can you tell me the rest of the lyrics, though? It's going to be happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Casey. I don't know it.
Just keep singing. You'll get it.
Okay, I give up.
Oh, now I want you to sing. You won't sing it?
Yeah, it's kind of like really arrogant if you want someone to sing happy birthday to you.
Oh, well, when I didn't.
Not natural.
Sorry, go ahead.